watching All In on NJIC Football.
And we are live. And thank you, Kobe St. Hilaire, for that little intro. Our first intro. Excited to hear from Kobe with a great performance. But
he'll be on this evening.
He will.
To.
Kurt Valenti, Jennifer Valenti. This is All In on NJIC Football Championship Week.
Yeah.
But not just one game. We got 12 games to break down, to go over, big matchups, tons of playoff possibilities. I'm ready to go.
Yeah, we got a huge slate tonight. We're going to welcome Pompton Lakes football. We're going to welcome Elmwood Park football. We're going to do our game of the week. Rutherford and Butler will be here. And then we've got a trio of sophomores from Hasbrook Heights joining us. We have Brandon Vega from Sea Caucus coming on, Kobe St. Hilaire from New Milford coming on, and then we have our top dog. I'm going to try to save it for a little bit, not give it away, coming on as well. So we got a lot of teams represented, a lot of players joining us. We are so excited to get it done.
Can't cut you. You didn't ask me how I was this week.
How you doing?
I'm doing. Listen, after Sunday's Bronco Giant game and how my Broncos got lucky and escaped that victory, I feel good. I'm happy about it. Sloppy, but I am excited too about tomorrow night and our New York Knicks starting up. So we'll get into that
NBA
tonight.
Officially. Oh, thank you for checking in, David, watching from Cedar Hill, Texas. Love it. I love it. Oh, I forgot. We're also going to have Patrick coming on. The man behind the coffee. Yeah,
yes. We got everybody's coming on tonight.
I know.
We got so many people coming on tonight.
And then our guest pickers are two of our former interns who will be returning as guest pickers, reprising their role. So, really quickly, a few thank yous, please. We'd like to thank our sponsors, Reg Restaurant and Beer Garden, the Roosevelt, Villa Italia, Lion Coffee, and Puppies and Tattoos. Speaking of Lion Coffee and Patrick, I'll put this discount code up again, but Patrick supplies our guest coaches with free coffee. So when you're a guest, I reach out to you, give you a few choices, but he's extending a special discount to anybody, all of our watchers at Patrick 10 at lioncoffee.com, coffee from Hawaii. So getting rave reviews from our coaches who have received some. So thank you, Patrick, and looking forward to seeing you later. Anything else? Oh,
yes.
We have another. Wait, before we do, one more thank you to our interns. We have Sean behind the scenes. Sean,
how are you, Sean?
Being here.
I think
Sean's there.
He's there. No, he's there because he's putting it in.
He's nice to be, behind the scenes. And then, again, to Cooper, one of our interns who does a ton of stats, and Aurora, who's doing a lot of hard work for us as well behind the scenes. And one more special thank you. You want to take this one?
Who am I special thank you? And I forgot.
Props for it.
Yes. Major props. We want to thank Coach Carbone. We want to thank the
Woodridge
Touchdown Club. We got our garb in this week. Yeah. We got our Woodridge football, got our merch, our Woodridge football shirt #1, and our Woodridge football shirt #2. You're going to go with this one because you like the one that there's not a lot of stuff. So you'll go with this one.
Thank you so much.
But thank you to Woodridge.
We truly appreciate it. Thank you. It was such a nice surprise this week. Thank you for thinking of us. Very nice of you guys to do that. And did I miss anything on thank yous or a rundown of anything?
Listen, we got a lot. So we didn't.
So let's jump right in then. Let's start with a little around the NJIC.
Okay, real quick. Stephanie Padilla watching from Chicago, Illinois, home of the Chicago Bears. What's going on,
awesome.
Stephanie?
We got Texas, we got Chicago.
We got our good friend Ernie Mays. Hello, Jen and Kurt. Broncos beat the Little Giants. Go Broncos country only. Big time Bronco fan like myself. All right, Jen.
Bye.
Give me your most dominant performance last week.
Most dominant performance from week 7. I'm going with Butler. It was a rematch. It was an NJIC semifinal matchup. It was a rematch from week 1 of play. And Butler came out victorious 42-7. David Smith just first 4 touchdowns for Butler. Yeah, I just thought it was a dominant performance. I think it shows how much they've grown as a team. We've had them on the show a few times. I think, when you're a defending champ, you lose some players and you come back and you have to kind of like learn your new roles. I think that they are adapting to all of that and peaking and playing really well. So I'm giving Butler my dominant performance of the week.
Yeah, I am too. I'm going Butler. Just total dominance from the get-go. I just remember watching that first drive and I said, uh-oh.
Yeah.
The Becton's in trouble. So absolutely. Give me your biggest surprise.
I have two. I picked two teams that I actually in our pick'em segment picked against. So I picked against St. Mary's and I picked against Sea Caucus, and they were both victorious in New Milford in pretty dominating fashion, 35-7 over St. Mary's. I thought it was going to be a closer game. I felt like it could go either way, but New Milford dominated them. And similarly, Sea Caucus 29-15 over Bogota, a kind of hot Bogota team, I felt like. So we also predicted that to be a close. I just thought both of those matches would be a little bit closer.
I'm going Sea Caucus.
Okay.
Bogota was one of the hottest teams in the league. And listen, they slowed down Jaden Gonzalez, one of the better players in the league. Brandon Vega, we're going to have him on a little bit. Like you said, just monstrous game, big performance, and I'm going to go Sea Caucus. Jen, if you can make a game between two teams in this NJIC, who would it be?
All right, I got two. I cheated again.
You have two in everything.
Yeah, so my first one is a rematch. I'd like to see the Butler Heights rematch because I feel like that was a shootout. And I feel like, I don't know if things go a little bit differently. I guess there's a couple of rematches I'd like to see, but that's one. My real matchup that did not exist is Butler versus Glen Rock.
Okay.
How about you?
I'm going one where, listen, you're talking about being on the border. We were there this past weekend where hey, one side's this street of the street is this, one side is that. And I'm taking two teams with athletes all over the field. Can you imagine the bragging rights of, on one side, Nip Patella, Napolitano, Brady Shine, right? We got the sophomore trio we're going to talk about today. And on the other side is right across the street, Chris Rios, right? Iko Avino. I always say his name wrong. Simmons, right? Scalera. Give me Woodridge Heights. I mean, you're talking right there, just the athletes on that field. That's the one I want.
Definitely a good one.
That's what I want to say.
Definitely a good one. I like it.
All right, Jen, quick hitters for this. NJIC Championship Week. I want to know what you're going to do. Right now, you're in the NJIC Championship game. Okay. Do you want to be down 4 points with your offense on the field with 2 minutes left, or do you want to be up 4 points with your defense on the field protecting the lead?
This is just me personally.
You personally. No, you personally.
Ooh, geez, that's hard. I'm a very defensive-minded coach in everything that I coach, but I don't know. There's something about me like having control of it and being on offense. I think I'd like to be down by 4 driving.
You know what? I hated the feeling. We're in a state championship game in 2006 against Patterson Catholic at St. Mary's, and we had a long drive. We're up 7, but then you just have that sick feeling. Like as an offensive coordinator, you're just like, and listen, we had a great defense and we held and we won the state championship. But like when you're just sitting there, you're like you're saying, you have that no control of that. So I'd rather be down with my offense on the field. Second one, Jen, 40 seconds left. You're down 7. Your offense scores. You're going for 1 or you're going for 2.
Am I home or away?
Just you tell me the difference. Tell me if you're home or
away.
I feel
like the general rule of thumb is if you're the visiting team, you're going for 2 and getting out of there. If you're the home team, you're going for 1 and force any overtime. That's my answer.
I'm going for 2.
Okay. No matter what.
No matter what. I'm going for 2.
I'm a little more of the conservative person. I'm surprised I even said go for 2 on the road.
I'm going for 2.
I'm very conservative when it comes to that. So
okay. So we are ready to go.
That's it. That's our
question. Those are the quickies. That's around the NJIC.
All right. Nice. Okay. All right, well, we have our first guest actually all ready to go. We are going to welcome Pompton Lakes football. So give me a moment to get all of our guests in here. I'm going to start with Coach Jones there. Hi, Coach. How you doing?
Good. How you doing?
Good. Let me get the rest of your players in so I can formally introduce them here. Let me get everybody in. And okay, we are joined by Coach Justin Jones of Compton Lakes. He's joined by his senior captains, Don Zalini, Sebastian. Guys, welcome.
I'm not sure if
Can you guys all hear me?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Just making sure. Okay.
We got a little bit of background noise. Maybe one of the guys has stream live. If they could turn it off, it'd be better.
There we go.
Oh,
Okay,
awesome.
perfect.
Thank you. Good call, Coach.
Coach is all over it.
Got some tech background.
Coach, thank you so much. And guys, thank you so much again for taking time out of the week and coming to join the podcast. We appreciate it. I'll start with you, Coach. You won 2 in a row. And some of your losses, majority of your losses, close games to really good teams. You guys played a tough schedule. So how much better has this team gotten since the beginning of the season?
So much better. We continue to improve every single week. And you hit the hammer on a nail there. I believe that we're one of the toughest divisions in our league. You know, obviously with Rutherford and Glenrock and Waldwick gave us a great game. Cresskill coming in from the other division this year to make 7 in our division. We had some really close games in those losses. We didn't really get a chance to put 4 quarters together, although some of the quarters in those games we were playing lights out. We just had a couple mistakes, but we are definitely improving every single week and pushing for this week to finish strong in a regular season to go 3 wins in a row.
My question is for Radon. Radon, am I saying your name correctly, first of all?
It's Raiden.
Raiden. I'm sorry. Thank you for
Coach Raiden, I mess that up every week. Every week.
So thank you. It's finally to get it correct, Raiden. Pompton has always been known for having a good defense, and you're the leading tackler on your team. How much does it mean to you, and how much pride do you have in playing that role for your team?
I love having that role for my team, but I think you got to give credit to everyone else too. It doesn't happen with just me. It's the whole team doing their job.
Nice, you're up.
Okay, I'm going to go to Sebastian. Sebastian, can you talk a little bit about the passing game and the duel of yourself and your quarterback, Johan Fabian?
Passing game, it's been pretty well so far. I mean, he has good reads, gets the ball places where it needs to be, and he trusts his receivers, and receivers make the most of it and get yards.
And I'm going to go to Justin. Justin, you guys are the 3 senior captains. Can you talk a little bit about being a senior leader for this team?
Being a senior leader is like really good for our team because we run our own like conditioning after practice so we could all get into shape. Like the coaches hold us accountable to do stuff like that so we can be better and then just be all better together as a team.
Nice. You guys do your own conditioning after practice? That's awesome. Was that something you guys decided to do yourselves?
Yeah. So when we were on our rough stretch of like a few games of losses, we decided to pick up our game and do that a little more.
Nice. I'm just going to go off script there for a moment. Coach, how nice is it to have like senior leaders that kind of take that upon themselves, like almost an extension of you?
It's a wonderful thing to have these guys and Jonathan Tiberio, another senior captain, to take over that role. I'll throw a little joke out there with Justin. We call Justin Old Man Angst. He's been a starter for offense and defensive side of the line for 4 straight years, and that's something you don't hear too much of, especially in high school football. For 4-year starter, both sides of the ball on offense and defensive line. So these guys are doing a great job.
That's awesome.
Coach, I'm going to come back to you. Can you talk a little bit about what you guys are going to need to do against a tough Hawthorne team this week?
For us, it's always stop the run. You know, we got to stop the run first. And these guys on here right now all know that. We had a little trouble stopping Waldwick's running back, who, by the way, Waldwick's quarterback, who is the leading rusher in all of North Jersey right now. So Hawthorne has a good running quarterback as well, and we know we need to stop that before we take care of anything else.
My question is actually going to be for all of the seniors on the panel, right? This is, I know we talk about during the season, like taking it one game at a time, right? But now we're in like a playoff crunch. You guys are coming in at 3-4, Hawthorne's coming in at 4-4, and it's kind of, a game with big playoff potential. So how important is it to you guys this weekend to get that win and keep those playoff hopes alive? Radon, I'll start with you.
I think it's very important. We have a lot of momentum going into the game. We won, 2 straight games. So we're going to go in hard and win the game.
Nice. How about you, Justin?
Just like Raiden said, coming off of 2 straight wins, it's really big. And then especially since Hawthorne is one of our bigger rivals between all of our sports, it's definitely got a lot of controversy going on.
Nice. And Sebastian, how big is this game for you guys in playoff potential?
It's a huge game, even for our seniors. I mean, this is the last game home, so I think go out and win it.
Nice. Very nice. Anything else, Kurt?
I'm good.
No. All right. Coach and Justin and Radon and Sebastian, thank you so much for joining us tonight, guys. It was a pleasure to have you on, and we're really looking forward to see what you guys do the rest of the season. Thanks so much.
Good luck this weekend.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, go Cardinals.
There you go.
Have a good night, guys. Thank you.
Take care.
Sound like Coach O with the Go Tigers at the LSU, right?
Absolutely.
But listen, Pompton Lakes, and again, Jen, you hit it when you always talk about Pompton Lakes, and Raiden is one of the examples of it. You always think of a defensive team, right? I mean, run the ball, they throw it around a little too, but that it's always been Pompton Lakes has been a great program defensively, and you can see he's one of the leads. Like they said, these 3 guys are there. They got a big test this week with Hawthorne, right? Mejia, good running quarterback. David Mejia.
Let's talk a little bit about we've tried a little something new these past 2 weeks where we give each matchup in the NJIC a little more of a breakdown. So let's talk a little bit about the Hawthorne at Pompton Lakes. As we said, Pompton riding that 2-game win streak, impressive dominating performance over EP last week, 41-0. Radon with 3 touchdowns and 12 tackles, right? Getting it done on both sides of the ball. Hawthorne also off of a win, right? Also 2 in a row, wins over Saddlebrook and Weehawken. So what do you think?
Listen, this is like a playoff game. Hawthorne's won 2 in a row. Pompton's won 2 in a row. And just like Coach Jones said, they faced Dylan Ferreira in Waldwick. Now they got to deal with Dylan Mejia, 103 passing yards, touchdown, 140 with 4 touchdowns. It's over 200, almost 250 yards combined yards last week. The offense alone ran for 345 yards. So like Coach said, they better get ready for a team that's going to run the ball. They're always physical. They're always tough, just like Pompton is, right? And listen defensively, between Giovanni, Travato, and you Shortway, 35 tackles last week between those guys from Hawthorne. But again, you got Radon here, Sebastian, Justin. This is going to be a physical game. Okay. I think it's going to be a fast game because I think both teams are going to like to run the ball, and Pompton might throw it a little bit, but that's what Hawthorne's going to want to do. But hey, playoff implications, 2 teams that are hot, 2 in a row. Again, look forward to this game.
And while we're going to squeeze in another game to break down, one of the opponents that Hawthorne beat recently was Saddlebrook, right? Saddlebrook. So we're going to break down the Saddlebrook at North Arlington game. Saddlebrook finally got that first win under their belt with the win over Wallington, a close one, 26-25. They've recently been playing a lot of teams closely, including that Hawthorne game, a 24-20 loss for Saddlebrook, behind, again, playing both sides of the ball. Speaking of playing both sides of the ball, Dylan Cerciello. North Arlington, hasn't played since October 10th. It's now a 2-week hiatus for them. Still seeking that first win. What do you think?
Yeah, North Arlington again. Some tough, even though they're winless, some tough losses. They played some decent teams, some good teams throughout the season, close. Again, good quarterback play. They got to score a little more points, and I think they're going to get challenged on this. And Saddlebrook and Dylan Cerciello might not be the guy to deal with that when you talk about it. All he did, again, like you said, was to carry 20 more tackles, right? A couple more standouts defensively from Saddlebrook. TJ Fillin, Colin Taylor, and Sal Zaccaro. They all had big games defensively. Listen, what Coach Catrona is going to do. Again, he had some tough losses leading up. They had the last 2 games. Now he gets the win. Hey, another winnable game for this team. Listen, Coach Catrona is going to have those guys sky high looking for another victory.
Our next guest is going to be Coach Mulligan and his player Chucky Willow. We're just waiting on Chucky to come in here, but before we come in, I just want to give a little background on our next guest here. Coach Mulligan is the head coach at Elmwood Park, and Chuck Willow has been nominated for the Heart of a Giant Award. So before we bring them in, I just want to give a little background about what the Heart of a Giant Award is. So I'm just going to read a little bit from that. The U.S. Football Heart of a Giant Award, presented by the Hospital for Special Surgery and the New York Giants, recognizes high school students from New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut who demonstrate an unparalleled work ethic and passion for the game of football. The award showcases the tri-state high school tackle and football athletes, student managers, student mascots, or other designated student team members who demonstrate that extra something special in the classroom, out in the community, or on the field. And I just love the basis of this award, how it encompasses not just only your so-called best player, right?
Yep.
But someone who's doing things. I love community, classroom, and of course on or off the field. So why don't we bring Coach Mulligan in first, since he is here?
I thought I saw Chucky in at one point.
Okay.
So I'm not there. There it is. There he is.
Perfect. Let's bring them both in here. So,
Okay.
Hey, Coach Mulligan, how you doing?
Hey, what's up, guys? Thanks for having us.
Our
Really
pleasure.
appreciate you guys highlighting Chucky and everything that he's accomplished and
Awesome.
done in his 4 years here.
Oh, our pleasure. So let's bring him in as well. Elmwood Park coach
Tommy
Tommy
Mulligan.
Mulligan. Sorry, I was looking at Chucky. Is joined by his player who is a Heart of a Giant finalist, Chuck Willow. Hi, Chuck. How you doing?
Oh, we're having.
Oh, he might be having a little technical issue. There he is. Hi, Chuck. How you doing?
Good.
Good. Nice to see you. Thank you so much for joining us.
You're welcome.
All right. So I read the Heart of a Giant Awards. I think your first question is for Coach.
Coach, thank you for coming on again. We love having you on. Can you talk a little bit about what kind of young man Chucky is?
Chucky's the guy you want on your roster. He is the most selfless player in the world. He puts his teammates first. He puts everyone in the program above him. You know, I've coached this guy for 4 years in 2 different sports, and I've never once heard him complain about anything. My older brothers coached him in Bombers, and they all have their Chucky Willow stories. Everyone has their story. What he's been able to accomplish and what he's been able to do is just a true inspiration to everybody in Elmwood Park. And if you know Chucky, you love Chucky. I got coaches from all over North Jersey when they saw it come up. The coaches on the wrestling circuit love Chucky, and the first thing they said, like, we're sharing this, we're getting him this award. Like, this kid deserves it.
That's
Everyone
awesome.
just loves Chuck.
You know, Coach, you know what? I'm going to try to get my act together and drop the link in here for voting, actually. So thank you for reminding me of that. Is it too? It's not too late to vote, right? Because I just voted tonight again.
No, it goes to the 26th.
Oh, yeah, the 26th. You know what?
To the 26th.
You know what we'll do? If I can't drop it into the comments tonight, we will definitely post it on our social media. So I should have done that sooner. But Chuck, my question is for you. In your bio on the Heart of a Giant page, you write about some of the hardships that you have faced. Can you tell us what you would maybe advise other people to do about how to overcome adversity?
Yeah, what I do is when something comes up, I just push on. Like I don't care about the odds or whatever.
Okay, I'm on you up. I'm sorry.
No, you're up here. What's it mean?
Oh, I'm sorry. Chucky, I'm going to come back to you. What does this nomination mean to you?
When I saw, I was excited.
That's awesome.
We got yeah.
And you're back to Coach.
I think we lost. Did I lose Coach?
Oh, I think, you know what? I think he's having a little maybe something going on at home there. So
Okay.
Chucky, I'm gonna come back to you here. I saw some of the words that really stuck out to me when reading your bio were things like courage, staying positive, right? You're involved in the community. How do you manage to do everything? Have such a positive attitude, be active in your sports, stay focused academically. How do you manage all of that?
The way I stay positive is whenever something like don't go my way, I just keep my head up.
Great, good advice for everyone.
Coach was there. Coach had a special guest. Let's see if Coach's special guest is. I want one more for Coach. There he is. Okay, Coach, I got one more for you.
Sorry, guys.
No.
Little nighttime slip. She just fell upstairs.
What kind of inspiration is Chucky, not only to other football players, but the whole EP community?
Like I said earlier, to know Chucky is to love Chucky. You know, everyone is motivated by his story. Like the first guy, always there with a smile on his face, always ready to go. He works so hard. I had the pleasure of coaching him in wrestling too. And this guy's been in our varsity lineup for 3 years as a freshman, sophomore, junior, coming into his senior year, looking to make some noise. He's been the hero. He's been the guy who, unfortunately, it was a last match pin. And just see him go out there and just battle through things. And I think it was 2 or 3 times he came up as the last match pin. And it was just something like everyone just loved, just because there's no excuses with this kid. There's no crutch. He attacks every day with like great enthusiasm, pride. You know, like I said, I've never heard this kid complain about anything in 4 years of coaching him. And like my older brothers, Coach Shama, those guys all have great things to say about him always. They even named an award after him in the Pop Warner level.
That's awesome. I actually wanted to ask you about that, Coach. I did read that in his bio that there's a Chuck Willow Award in the recreation program. How awesome is that? How did that come to be?
Because just how he attacked every day, even as a little kid, like it was just so inspiring. He never gave up, not a word about never anything but playing time. When he got in, he made every play count. And he was at every day at practice, making his friends better, getting his teammates better. And everything that he did as a young kid down there, he does up here with us. And it's just, I'm lucky to coach him. I think having crossed his path, I get blessed every day to be around this kid and to see how he attacks life.
Chuck, I read the description of the Chuck Willow Award as representing heart, leadership, and commitment both on and off the field. And just reading your bio was inspirational to me as a coach because, you know what, you're the type of player that every coach wants to have on their team. So congratulations to you. Keep up the good work. And Coach, thank you so much for joining us tonight. It was a pleasure to have this. We'll definitely be posting the link to vote on our social media.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having us, guys.
Congratulations,
Chuck,
Chucky. Congratulations.
So congrats. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you,
night,
Coach.
guys. Good
Thanks,
luck.
guys.
Okay, so great story with Chucky. And again, Coach Mulligan is the best. We know Coach Mulligan, and like he said, he's the one that's blessed by Coach and Chuck. And listen, you know what? Chucky's blessed to have Coach Mulligan also. You know what I'm saying? And all those junior, because again, I was a former junior football coach at Elmwood Park, and I know how much that means to that, football there, the junior football program means to that town. And it's an unbelievable town. And listen, I've always said one of the most fun I've ever had was coaching there. And, Coach Mulligan obviously grew up there and Chucky's there and have an award already in your name.
Oh, it's amazing.
That's pretty awesome.
Amazing.
I want to get back to one more comment, Jen, back to the Pompton game from Karen Smith. Butler mom, but Pompton alum. Go Pompton.
Oh, nice. Very nice.
Go
That's
Pompton,
so nice.
except when they play Butler,
Exactly.
right? That's it.
You know what? We wanted to keep Coach's time on here, just focused on Chuck Willow tonight, but they have a game, an upcoming matchup against Weehawken. So let's break that down real quick, right? Weehawken 2-6, EP has 1 win so far this season. What do you have to, I'm going to throw out some names. I know that you have them, so I'm going to let you get to it.
Listen,
with the
EP
highlights.
wants to run it. Coach Mulligan, they're going to run it with Stratz and Shaman, right? I mean, he had a nice little game last week, and obviously we all know about Stratz. We had him on the field offensively and defensively. And Weehawken, again, another one of we had Bo's Dog of the Week 1 week, Emmanuel De La Cruz. I always say his name, De La Hose. I don't know why I messed it up, but I missed both of them. Dylan Hablitz too, the quarterback, 2 athletic players. So it's going to be a challenge for Elmwood Park defensively. Again, listen, we know what Elmwood Park's going to want to do, but listen, the story with Chuck over there, it's unbelievable. It's a great kid there. Guys, please go out, go vote for him. Jen and Sean, we post the link in the comments, but that's just a great story.
Yeah, the our next matchup that we want to talk about before we move on to our NJIC finals is Lodi at Wallington. Wallington coming in at 1-7. Lodi looking for their first victory. Wallington, however, in their last 2 games, so close, led by quarterback Robert Miller. 2 close losses, right? Weehawken 26-21, just lost to Saddlebrook in a heartbreaker 26-25. And Lodi led defensively, I'm going to say, by sophomore Julian Valerio, who leads the team in tackles with 52 this season.
Yeah, and then like you said, Kwasemi, the quarterback, he runs it, he throws it. He's a true dual threat. And again, I also got Brandon Anderson making a lot of plays defensively for them. And Wallington, just like you said, they lost that tough one to Saddlebrook, but they've been running the ball. They had over 200 yards, right? With Hussein and Nick Sinclair. And like you said, Robert Miller there. Again, I saw them play Woodridge. And again, we know how good Woodridge is. I saw them play St. Mary's. They moved the ball up and down the field on that. So listen, it's going to be a challenge for Lodi. And again, Wallington, listen, watch that run game. That offense has been good. So interested to watch this matchup also.
All right, before we move into our NJIC finals, let's give a brief little recap of those 2 semifinal games. Then we'll break down really quickly our consolation game in the NJIC, Beckton versus Woodridge. So your thoughts on the Rutherford Woodridge game and the Beckton Butler game?
Well, first off, thanks we were going to go. And then we said, we can't go because luckily Beckton fixed their camera and they were able to stream it. So I said, if they're streaming both games, we got to watch both games. We got to be fair. We got to watch both games. So the Rutherford game was 6:00. So we're able to watch that a little bit before the 6:30 kickoff in Beckton. But listen, that Woodridge, and I'm going to say this first and foremost for Woodridge. The game plan, Coach Carbone, listen, they came off a tough loss against Pagoda. Okay. We sat here saying, listen, they didn't run the ball. They didn't do this. They didn't do that. And I'm going to say Coach Carbone had those kids flying around the field. The game plan was a great game plan. Hey, they shut down Rutherford's run game, which is a phenomenal run game. They ran the ball, up majority of the game. And again, hey, we give credit to Rutherford, the champions they are, to come back. But, I got to say that was one of the better game. I know I mentioned the Beckton Lyndhurst was a great game like that, but this game with the amount of athletes you have and the skill kids on both sides, Rutherford, obviously they're in the championship game, but Woodridge also making plays left and right, the quarterbacks, Balkan and Rios, the receivers they got there, this was just a phenomenal game. Hey, tip your hat to both teams because you know what? We said, hey, you got to run it, you got to stop it. And Woodridge did it. They did it. But listen, that's why Rutherford is Rutherford. They make the plays in the big time, but what a phenomenal game that was.
I just want to add a couple things. The Woodridge stats there, in the loss, Chris Rios with 167 passing yards and throwing for 2 touchdowns, one to Nick Scalera, one to Michael Prado, who also had not only a touchdown, but 12 tackles, 2 sacks, and a forced fumble as well. But you said it best. You know what? This was reminiscent of me of the Rutherford Glenrock game. Rutherford finds a way to get it done. Yeah.
And that's what great teams do.
Exactly.
But you know what? Listen, I'm telling you, Coach Carbone had that team ready because coming off of that loss, and listen, even though it was an NJIC playoff game, and you know what? Listen, on their field, hey, Pagoda got them. And to have to come back a week later and play this Rutherford, not only team, the program like that Rutherford is. And listen, they had a performance where we were just like, wow, this legit team. And Ike Avino too was all over the field, 8 catches, 72 yards. Listen, phenomenal team. And they got a big one with Beck. Listen, we were talking with Coach Carbone. You were saying playoff implications. They got to turn around now again and play Beckton this week and, make sure that they solidify a playoff spot.
Yep. And really quickly, the Butler-Beckton game, a 42-7 loss for Beckton. Eli Davis with 167 passing yards in the loss, and their defense led by Everett Bell, Patrick Lintz, and Nico Ragazzino.
Listen, watching this game, Butler had the ball, and it was like, okay, this is what we wanted to see, right? We wanted to see Butler with David Smith, Yadi Perez, and that group against the Beckton defense. And listen, Butler went right down that field, and Butler said, "We're not playing around tonight." And I just said, "Uh-oh, like this could be seriously, this could be trouble." And hey, Becton responded. Becton got, I think, to 14-7. But listen, Becton controlled it. Their Butler controlled it. Their run game was just phenomenal. Smith had, I want to say it was two. I didn't have the yards, but they ran for over 300 something yards. He went for like 226 or 225 himself.
338.
And listen, this is they again, it was a rematch. And I think again, where we said Becton kind of had to play like perfectly in certain spots, like running the ball, keeping them off the field. They really couldn't do that. But again, Butler though had Becton coming off of a Lyndhurst emotional game, the Garfield emotional game. Now they got to go into this. Now they got to play another emotional game, right? With Woodridge for playoffs and stuff like that. But unbelievable job. Butler set the tone in that game. Like, hey, we're not turning over like we did in week 1. We're going to take care of business. And they took care of business.
All right. Well, we are going to move on to now a little breakdown of the NJIC final. Rutherford hosting Butler on Friday evening. So let's bring in Coach Dunn of Rutherford and some of his players as well. Bring in Coach Dunn first. Hey, Coach, how you doing?
Hey, Kurt and Jen.
What's up, Coach?
Thanks
How are
so
you?
much. You're a regular. I feel like we've had you on week after week. So thanks again for joining, you and your team. So let me get your guys in here as well and get everybody introduced here. Okay, and I'm just making sure we're all in the right spot. Okay.
Coach, I got to start by doing this. I got 30 seconds for Coach because last week you couldn't make it, so you brought on Evan and Dave, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Sir.
So I might ask a question to Dave, and I'm looking at my notes, and all of a sudden I say, "Is that Coach Dunn talking? Like he sounds just like you." I'm like, he sounds like you voice wise. He sounds like you how you talk. Like he was just like boom, like Coach talk. I'm like, is Coach talking like in the background? Like I'm like, this is crazy. But
He looks like he's 42 years old too.
hey. But no, but it was just so funny because he does sound like the coach. I'm like, oh my God, like, that's crazy.
Yeah. Good, really good kid, David.
Let me introduce who's joining you tonight. You are joined by John Kozlik, Evan Diaz, and John Joya. Go ahead, Kurt.
Okay, Coach, I am going to start with you. Well, I got so many notes over here. Coach, so I want to know, what were your thoughts, okay, down, whatever you guys were, I forgot what you guys were down, having the ball in Miles' hands late in the game. How much confidence did you have?
Well, yeah, I was always confident that our kids have found a way to win. You just mentioned it before, but it was definitely, and you also credited Coach Carbone. I thought Woodridge had a fantastic game plan, and they played very well. And in a lot of ways, they could have won that game. I think we got lucky to win in some ways. But, when that snap went over our punter's head and they were first and goal down a score, it took a little spine to stop Woodridge down there.
Yep.
And our defense stepped up, and it gave our offense a chance. And, if we get a chance at the end, we always feel confident that we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out in the end. So I was pretty confident. Yeah.
My question is for Evan. Evan, you guys have had 2 close games, defensive battles, if you will, right, with Glen Rock and Woodridge. Do you think that's going to help you guys heading into the NJIC championship to have close games like that you've been able to pull out and win?
Definitely. It's just going to come down to if our D-line could contain David into the pocket, make sure he can't run.
Coach, I'm going to go off script. So I want to ask, this is a really good question from our good friend Keith Brugman in Montana. He's saying, Coach, how do you make this week just like any other, or do you?
It's a very good question. The answer, we try not to. Everybody knows that there's more on the line, and we're trying to crank it up a little bit. But at the end of the day, when I first meet with the kids, I say, this is a football game. We're going to have to do everything we've talked about since June, as far as lining up correctly and communicating and running to the ball, tackling when we get there. Offensively, it's always about execution with us. And if we could do the things that we've talked about since June, then good things usually happen. So it is like any other game in that sense, but everybody knows, and the elephant in the room, and we don't shy away from that we're playing at home for an NJIC title, and the kids are all excited for that.
John, I'm going to go to you. Your running game, which has been fantastic all year, struggled a little last week. And listen, give credit to Woodridge. Like Coach said, hey, good game plan. They got good players there. They were in that semifinal for a reason. So how do you guys get that running game going again Friday? And how important is it versus Butler?
It's definitely very important. Not only do we need to throw the ball to win games, but we also need to run the ball. And that's, beating up the D-line up front. And I think, honestly, it first comes from practice. We didn't have that great of a week at practice before Woodridge. And, it kind of showed in that game. I believe that we could have played way better up front, our skill position players, just as a team in general, could have played way better. But I think that was a good learning moment, and everyone's fired up for this week. Our line is locked in. Our skill position are locked in. I think it's something we're going to come back and make a play this year.
I'm going to come to John K for this one, and Evan kind of touched upon it already a little bit. Kurt talked about your running game, but let's talk about the Butler running game, which is really, fueled by not only David Smith, but Yadi Perez, right? They've been rolling, right? Especially as of recently. How important is it for you guys to try to contain that running game?
Yeah, I mean, it's very important. You see them, their goal is just to pound the ball, pound the rock down defenses' throats, and our goal is just to read our keys and fly to the ball. And if we do that, we'll be in a pretty good spot to stop their run game.
Great.
Oh, you're up with Coach.
Oh, I'm up again. I'm sorry. Coach, I'm going to come back to you. Why do you think it's been so hard for anybody to beat Butler this year?
Because they're really, really good. They have I think about 15 seniors on the team. Most of the kids are players, and they have experience from last year. They had a fantastic team again last year, but everything you want in a football team, Butler has. They have a fantastic offensive line. They have great skilled kids. You could tell how well they're coached. What their coach wants them to do, they do. And they do it kind of the Butler way. And it's different than anyone else. It's the way they've had success. And talk about a program, Butler runs a really, really good program that has success every year. I think just like our kids, we've had a string, for the last decade, we've had a really good program here too. Yep. But I think those Butler kids, I think you're going to have two teams on the field Friday night. When they step on the field, they're both going to expect to win. Our kids have been winners their whole life, and so have those Butler kids. So I just think between their mentality, how they're coached, and their skill and big boys up front, I think you put that all together, that's a recipe for a really good team.
Coach, we got another question from our audience that they're picking your brain. When you win, Coach, these people want to know what's going on, So Dale Sip is saying, can you ask the coach if he shortens his practices this time of year to keep his players' legs fresh?
No, I don't. Now, very good question again.
They're all laughing. Laughing.
They're very good. We didn't shorten it all today, but did we run any today, boys? After practice? No, we did not. So yes, we do find ways to. When you get so deep in the season, I don't know how much conditioning at some point you have to do. And we had a pretty good day today, so I didn't think that. When you're practicing well, that's kind of part of conditioning. But we do try to cut out conditioning towards the end. Not cut it out, but, if the kids do well, you reward them without kind of burying them at the end of practice.
You know what? I'm going to go to John K for this one with another audience. The thing you respect most about your opponent is blank.
The thing I respect most about my opponent is probably their toughness and their ability to just keep trying to run the ball and keep going to what they have done best all year, and just being relentless in general.
Great questions from our
awesome.
audience. Love it. Keep them coming. Coach, the audience question to you about how do you treat practice? I had a flashback to when I was in high school. I was lucky enough my junior and senior year to play in 2 state tournament finals, and my coach the day before those practices, we did not pick up our sticks. I was a field hockey player, right? And I remember being as a player, it really didn't impress upon me very much. Other than oh wow, that's pretty. As a coach, right now, I'm gonna be honest. I give her so much. She said to us, you are prepared, right? And no matter what we do today, I feel that you can walk on that field. You've done the work all season long. I have to be honest though. I don't know if I could do that as a coach. Could you, I'm looking at wondering your opinion. Could you, I really couldn't. I give her so much credit, and you know what? It worked. We won both state championships, but I don't think I could do that. Could you do that?
Well, I think in certain situations, I mean, you have our two middle linebackers on with us, the two Johnnies, and our individual for linebacker today. I said, listen, there's nothing I'm going to do today in these 15, 20 minutes to make you a better linebacker. So we just kind of talked through what to expect and how, where our eyes are going to be, things like that. So, we didn't go through our normally, it's kind of tougher drills that we do on Tuesday, but, it also goes back to your first question, Kurt, where it's like, are you keeping it the same, stuff like that? It's like, practices are kind of the same too, like the same length, but everyone knows what's going on on Friday night. So we try to keep it consistent.
Yeah. All right, guys, my last question for you. I'm going to take it to all the players, okay? And I'll just call your names out and give me this answer here. What would it mean for you guys to get this NJIC championship? We'll start John G.
It would mean a lot, 100%. Coming off of that three-peat and then last year after that very crushing loss to Glen Rock, we feel like we have the ability to win this game on Friday, and we know that as long as we do what we should do, we should win another NJIC and bring it back home for Rutherford.
John K.
My freshman year, we beat Park Ridge, and it was a surreal moment, even though not having any pads on. But now I sit here, come back again for another NJIC championship, this time at home. It would mean the world to be the bulldog that raises the trophy on Friday night.
Nice. And Evan.
I feel like it would be just proving people wrong, because at the beginning of the year, people were saying we're too young to go anywhere. And
I didn't say that. I could tell you that right now. I did not say that. I did not say that. I'm not taking the hit on that one. No way.
Thank you.
Okay.
But it would just be surreal feeling with all of our fans there, and knowing that we did that, it would just be great.
Coach Dunn, I got one more for you, and I'm going to ask the same question to Coach Luciani, right? At some point, did you think to get where you guys wanted to be, did you think you had to somehow get through Butler, or you were going to meet Butler at some point?
Probably. It's in the back of your head. I think as a coach, you're so focused on week to week. Like when we're preparing to go against either Glen Rock or whoever, Cresskill or Woodridge last week, Butler isn't too much in your head, but it's in there. It's definitely in there. And, like these kids were fortunate enough. You have three, actually Johnny G's a sophomore, but these two juniors are fortunate enough to be a part of an NJIC championship team. And, these are, to me, I've been fortunate that I've been able to coach in 6 of these games. This will be my 6th. But to me, they're a better game than the sectional finals. They're more exciting, more the community based. To me, there's a lot of pride that comes with winning an NJIC title. And, these kids have worked their tails off. I could tell you that. I'm sure Butler kids have too. And, it's going to be a pretty cool atmosphere there Friday night. We always draw a big crowd. I'm sure they will too. But, I think it's going to be a very special night down to Triumph.
That's awesome. Well, we're looking forward to watching it, Coach. That's for sure. Thank you so much, guys. Evan, John, and Coach, we really appreciate your time. Good luck to you this weekend.
Good luck Friday, guys. Good luck, guys. Thank you for joining.
Have a good one.
Good night.
Okay, so there's the Rutherford Bulldogs. I think, listen, 6 championships, Coach is saying, it's, this is the crazy question. I'm going to get back to this when we make our picks and stuff like that. But when have you really got to a championship game and you said, hey, Coach Dunn as a coach has an NJIC championship. But you know what? Coach Luciani has an NJIC championship.
Right.
Ready for this one? David Smith, quarterback, Butler, NJIC championship. But you know what? Miles Balkin, NJIC.
Yeah,
how many times do you get that?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, this team, but these teams have just done. These have been the teams the past couple of years.
Yeah.
Now they see each other, and it's Keith is saying, good luck.
All right. Well, let's roll right into bringing Coach Luciani and some of his players as well. All right, let's get Coach in here first. Hey, Coach, how you doing?
Yeah, and Kurt, hello.
What's going on?
Welcome back, Coach. Let me get in your players. You are joined by David Smith and Cole Benacasa. Cole, did I say your last name correctly?
Yes, you did.
All right. I'm 1 for 2 now.
Let's go. Let's go.
All right. You're up there, Kurt.
Mom, how do I start a Butler conversation without asking this? Coach, can you please don't let me down on this, Coach Luciani, please? Okay. I'm going to say something and I want you to repeat it. Go, New York, go, New York, go.
Go New York. Go New York.
All right, that's all
Tomorrow
I
night's a
wanted
big
for
night.
tonight.
Big night tomorrow night.
Huge. But you know what? You see already? No Mitchell Robinson, no Josh Hart, but it's okay. I'm not going to panic.
I think we're gonna be good. I did see that. I'm not happy.
I know, me too. But it's all right. Let's go. The quest begins tomorrow night. All right. Your
Definitely.
quest is Friday night. So let me get into these questions first. Coach, what are some things that are impressive about this Rutherford team you're going to face Friday night?
Well, they're an outstanding defensive football team, and they know what they want to do, and they've essentially imposed their will on just about every opponent they've won against this season. So I think that they want to play defense. They want to be a good defensive football team, and they want to pound the rock. They want to run it, and they have a quarterback who can throw it, and they have big physical receivers on the outside, and they have a good tight end and a good running back, and they're good up front. So I would say they're looking like a pretty complete football team to me.
Cole, I'm going to come to you on my next question here. On Friday night, you guys looked like you were, I'm going to say on a mission, right? You dominated your Becton opponent. Would you think that's the most complete game you guys have played so far this season?
100%. I think that if you looked at some of our past games, we were a little slow to start in the first half and then really turned it up in the second half. But if you look at that Becton game, I think we were pretty complete game there.
I'm going to go to David. David, thank you again for joining us every week. You're part of our show every week now, too. By the way, your mom commented before and said she's a Pompton alum, right?
Yeah.
Let me ask you something. What if it was Pompton Butler? What does she wear, Pompton Butler?
She seemed pretty prideful in the fact that she came from Pompton, but I think we've transitioned well into the blue and gold. So
Okay,
I think she'd be on that side.
Just making sure.
Good answer.
Good answer. My question for you, Friday night, you guys rushed for 338 yards as a team, 225 for yourself. But how important is it now to keep this rushing attack going Friday against Rutherford?
Oh, starts and ends with the run game. Our success in prior years and still to now, it starts and ends with our run game. And we like to open up the pass with the run. They said it before, it's ground and pound first. When you could get a run game going, we're in to score a lot of points. So obviously that's the goal. They're a really physical team. We're not expecting anything easy. It doesn't get better than these two teams facing each other Friday. And it's just we're going to try to run it. We're ready to pass it if we have to. You can only hope, we want to keep it rolling, but got to be ready for anything.
Coach, I'm going to come to you next. Kurt asked Coach Dunn this same question. I want to know from you, as you're thinking about your path down to the NJIC finals, did you have a feeling you were going to maybe have to go through Rutherford at some point?
Well, we knew for sure we were going to be on the road, and we knew it was going to be somebody at the top of their division. And, Glen Rock and Rutherford have had some battles the past couple of years, come down to the last possession, one score, less than 7-point game. So we had a pretty good idea if we were going to make it to the NJIC finals, we would be looking at certainly a team like Rutherford for sure. But that I try really hard not to get too wrapped up in looking that far down the road. I know a lot of people, all my assistant coaches are looking at the state sectional brackets and what's going to happen here, what's going to happen there. I can't, I have a hard enough time focusing on what I need to do to worry about, what's going to happen next week. So, but yes, no question about the level of their program and what they bring to the table and what they've been and what they've meant to the NJIC and Group 2 football. They've been a staple at the top. So no surprise that Rutherford's there at the end of the season.
All right. Karen Smith made it official. 100%. That's my boy. Go Butler. Okay, good. Good. At least we got that on air. You should print that out and hang that in your room somewhere, David. So never go back. Cole, I'm going to go to you. You guys are very physical. Rutherford is very physical. Can this outcome of this game come down to who's more physical Friday night?
Yeah, 100%. We've watched our film. They're definitely very big up front. They've totally got some size. and we can just do our job, then it'll totally be a huge part of the outcome of the game.
David, I'm going to come back to you. You've been a guest with us before, and we talked about how you guys are going for a repeat of your NJIC championship. But we also talked about how important it would be for this team, right? You guys are a separate team this year to get their own. So what would it mean for this group to get their own NJIC championship on Friday?
I'll start by saying we talk a lot about repeat, but in terms of going into what it means to this team, I'm more focused on it being for the individual year, because for what it means to us, last year, there's no denying we had an incredibly talented team. And that group of guys, forever in history, forever in my heart. But this year, we said it earlier, I think week 1 when I was on the podcast, we're really trying to write our own story this year. And what it means for the guys I'm playing with, we talked, I think the Rutherford crew talked about our seniors and stuff. We've been playing for a long time, together. And to see success at this level after losing all the guys last year, it really shows how much we've grown and stuff, and how we're capable of, I don't want to say doing stuff on our own, but doing stuff without the help of others, even though we've, you hear everything after a big year like last year, not being able to do it without them. But Friday, it's going to be a great competition. It doesn't get better. I know you're a basketball guy, Kurt, so these might be the blue bloods of
That's it. That's it. No, listen, you know what's so funny, David? I just said this to Jen before. How many times are you okay, this championship, Coach Dunn's got an NJIC championship, but you know what? Coach Luciani's got an NJIC championship. David Smith's got one, but you know what? Their quarterbacks, it doesn't happen a lot where you have it like that. It really doesn't. It's listen, these are the 2 best teams. These are the teams that have been the best in this conference. And listen, we're going to see Friday night, and we're excited to see it. Cole, I got one more for you, right? So huge game, but not on the blue turf, right? You guys got to travel to Rutherford, right? What do they call it? The Borough of Trees. You're going to be in Rutherford and all that, and they're going to be packed, and it's going to be a packed house. So let me ask you, because a lot of people love the fact of, you know what? I want to go on the road. I want to go into their house. Do you guys have a little feeling like that? You know what? Hey, I like it that we're on the road, that we got to go there. Cole, what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, obviously it's a bit of a pain to hop on that bus and got to leave the house a little earlier. But I know me and a couple of the other guys, we definitely love going to away games and doing our thing on other people's fields.
Nice. Coach, we want to thank you guys for coming on this evening. David and Cole, thank you as well. Best of luck to you guys Friday night.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks, Jen and Kurt.
Good luck, guys.
Have a good one.
Okay, so there it is. There's the Butler Bulldogs. Well, listen, Butler Bulldogs, Rutherford Bulldogs. This is it's like
battle of the Bulldogs.
but everything. It's just champion versus champion. It's just listen. This is a game I think a lot of people thought they were going to see. And I think a lot of people are going to be excited to see this game.
All right, well, let's get to your keys really quick before we bring in a special guest we have, and we'll get their thoughts as well. You do have
I don't remember my keys in this game. I got to go over it while we talk.
Yeah. All right, your first key to victory, we're going to do Rutherford first, is that they need to have long offensive drives.
Yeah, listen, Butler's good defensively too, but where is Butler most dangerous? When they have the ball, and especially in David Smith's hands, right? So how do you stop? The best way to stop David Smith is let him stand on the sideline with a helmet, right? So what do you got to do? Long drives, okay? Just listen, I want to say shorten the game. And listen, Rutherford's got a lot of firepower, so it's not like Rutherford can't score. But hey, to help their defense out, and again, to contain Smith the best, listen, have long drives. Again, it's great when you finish them with points, but even if you can't, the more you keep them off the field, the better it's going to be.
All right. You think Rutherford also needs to be the more physical team?
I do. I think, listen, like Coach Dunn just said, hey, what do they want to do? They want to pound it and just pound that rock. You know what? Rutherford's got to step up. We saw Rutherford do it. We saw what they did versus Glen Rock when they had those long drives at the end of the game. And Glen Rock's a very good team. Glen Rock's a great defensive team. They just held Avery Cano to 40 yards, right? So listen, hey, they got to step up. They got to be more physical than Butler to win this game on Friday night.
And your next key to victory is anybody but Smith. Somebody else has to beat them.
Listen, it's easier said than done, right? I mean, to say that, but they have to kind of try to contain him as much as they can. And listen, I always said, they want, Butler wants to run. Listen, Rutherford knows it. Butler just flat out said they want to run it. They're going to throw off of it. So especially with Smith in the run game, listen, if they do other stuff and you contain him and he throws it and, Yadi Perez is going, listen, you tip your hat and you say, hey, you're just a better team. But, try to make it where it's not Smith running for 225 like he did last week. You know what I'm saying? So again, they're not going to completely shut him down. But it is. I have one more too you didn't put up. Can I just ask? You have the one more.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yep. Your last one is that the young guns on Rutherford, we keep talking about their youth, become special.
At some point in these games, and listen, they did it versus Woodridge, right? Look at Quinn Weber's run. We're watching the game. We're like, the guy had 4 guys trying to tackle him and stuff like that. But Joya, right? Weber, listen, this has to be a team effort. It's just not going to be you go out and you beat Butler. That's not happening. There's no chance of that happening. It has to be a team effort. But you know what? These young guys, hey, step up and make a special play here and there in that game. And you know what? Weber did it. I saw Weber do it defensively too. Joya, we've seen how many times, especially in that Glen Rock. These guys got to do it, one more time in this game. Hey, again, it's not just going to be on them. It's going to be on everybody. But when you get a chance, these young guys step up and make a special play.
All right, let's move on to Butler's keys to victory. Your first one is they need to limit their turnovers and play a clean game.
I'm not saying limit like they have a lot of turnovers. I'm just saying no turnovers. They're going to be able to do whatever they want to do, right? Then, what hurts in a big game like that is if they give up possessions, right? Like I said, long drives for Rutherford keeps Smith on the bench. Turnovers keep Smith on the bench. No turnovers, you're going to keep Smith on the field. You're going to keep your strength, and that's what you want to do. So we worded that wrong. Like I'm saying, like they have a lot of turnovers.
Yeah,
I don't mean that. I just mean don't have any turnovers, and then you're going to keep your guys on the field.
All right, and your next key to victory for Butler is big plays off of play action.
Didn't Dave just say it? They're going to run. Hey, all their throws are going to come off of that, right? So listen, Rutherford has to go and say, we are going to stop their run first and foremost. And you know what? That's going to give David Smith chances. You've seen him do it versus Heights. You've seen him do it versus Beckton. When there's the opportunity and they want to make big plays through the air off of the run game.
All right, and your third key for victory for Butler is to take away Rutherford's screen and quick game.
Rutherford does a great job with that, right? The quick game. Beckton does a good job with that too. But Rutherford, getting the ball to Quinn Weber, right? Getting the ball to I can't even think of all their names right now. Schroeder and Nunziato and all those kids, right? The screen game with Pascas, the screen game with Joya, just getting it out there, right? Butler wants to come, boom, get those kids in space. So take that away. And again, listen, they still have a great quarterback in Miles Balkin too, but it's a lot harder to throw the deep ball than, to get the underneath and the quick game going.
And then I like your fourth key to victory, which isn't on the screen here because I'm wondering if anybody's going to maybe use it on their for their pregame here. Finish what you started and win, quote unquote, your championship.
Yeah, listen, hey, David Smith talks about it. They all talked about it as, hey, they want to do something special for this group, right? Last year group is, like you said, that's a special group, but hey, that's over. This is their championship now. This is what you guys wanted to do, right? You guys wanted to go out, win your own NJIC championship. You started it, finish it, and then it's yours, right? Then you have yours. So finish what you started.
All right. Well, our next guest that we're going to bring in is Greg Tartaglia of the Record and NorthJersey.com. So, and he's going to give us his thoughts on this NJIC championship game as well. Hi, Greg. Thanks so much for joining us. How are you?
Hi, I'm great. Thanks for having me on. It's nice to be with you, Kurt and Jen. We do podcasts on NorthJersey.com from time to time, but it's been a little while, so I'm happy to get back in the game.
Awesome. So nice to have you. Thanks for joining us. And thank you for waiting. We try to stay on schedule, but we
talk a little bit. So we talk a little bit.
I used to do some sports talk radio shows, so I know how it goes.
There you go. Thank you so much for joining. And again, listen, I was following you throughout the night on Friday night. So you had one of the best seats in the house in that Woodridge Rutherford game. So if you could just talk about it, it was like Coach Dunn just said, hey, listen, Woodridge played good. They got lucky to win that game. I mean, he flat out said it here. What were your thoughts? You were there, Woodridge, Rutherford.
Well, since we'll start there, I've actually seen both the teams, but we'll start there since you brought it up. Lucky to win might be an understatement because I keep stats on the sideline and that's sort of my thing. I had Rutherford for 16 rushes for 7 yards, and that's not counting they had a bad snap. There were, I think, 4 or 5 sacks in that game. you always take out guy taking a knee at the end, but even still, was a game that they weren't able to do what they normally like to do. And actually, I think that's a bit of a credit to Woodridge. They got a great defensive effort. I really like what I saw from them, and wish them all luck in the Group 1 playoffs. But listening to Coach Luciani talk before about his own team, I'm hearing him and I'm like, he's kind of describing Rutherford too. They were not able to get the run game going, and yet they pulled it out, which I think is probably makes it more remarkable, because then it's like, well, they can be not on their A game and they can still win. So I think that's one of the things that makes them dangerous. One thing I did notice, because I had actually seen Rutherford earlier in the year, I saw the 3-0 game against Glenrock. Most exciting 3-0 game I've ever seen. John
we
Joya,
listened to you on that one too.
yeah. So John Joya, I think he had 20-something carries in that game, more than 100 yards. If I recall, he got hurt a little bit near the end of the game, so they might have been the last few games sort of nursing that. But Butler was in a similar situation. I had a chance to see them play Hasbrook Heights in a game. It sort of springboarded them. They had to finish off another game, but they had to finish off New Milford, who's actually another good team. But when they beat Hasbrook Heights, it was a close game for them. Their key running back, Yadi Perez, he got hurt near the end of the game, and I've seen that he's been back in a few games, but maybe not going full throttle. I got to imagine both teams will be stepping on the gas come Friday night.
Well, that's actually my next question for you, Greg, is give us your finals prediction.
So I've been with the Varsity Aces for a number of years now, and as we all know, our main varsity ace, Darren Cooper, is the guy who does the predictions column. I don't like to do that because somebody's going to end up either not liking me or whatever. I would rather have everybody like me or everybody hate me, but as long as they're all doing the same thing. However, for this one time, I will make a very special prediction, and I'm going to say that the Bulldogs will win.
There you go.
All right,
There you go.
Thank you.
You're not.
I feel very special that
you know
you're
what?
doing that for us.
You won't be wrong.
I was able to keep a straight face for all of 10 seconds.
I want to ask you about the Heights game, because we watched that game, and I tell you, it's the first time in a long time, right? In an NJIC game that, but Heights took that lead. I think that was late in the third or early in the fourth quarter, right? I believe Heights took that lead. So does a game like that, because we actually had David Smith on and we said, like, how much does that help you, right? They're used to, hey, we're blowing this team out. But now, and again, Rutherford, like you said, the 3-0 game, this game, how much does that Heights game where, hey, there's a little adversity, we got, we're down, and now we got to come back and take the lead. How much does that help, Butler in the long run?
Well, it's very important. And I think on top of the both being Bulldogs, I heard all the similarities comparing before, I would be, if I'm one side and I've only been winning, big blowout games, I'd be more concerned. But I not only have each of these teams had a test, I got a real good look at them. So Butler winning the Hasbrook Heights game, having to come back in the fourth quarter, that sort of experience is going to pay off, especially against another team who just had to do that last week. The one major difference I think you could say, because they both played comfortably ahead, they both had to play from behind. The only minor difference, I guess you could say, is that Rutherford has played low scoring games. Butler hasn't had any of those yet.
True.
But again, if you want to look back to that Hasbrook Heights game, Butler ran the ball 53 times and they gained more than 300 yards. I think they'll be okay if they need to get into a grinded out game. It's just that very few have been able to stop them. And again, both these offensive lines are pretty solid. So if they have all their starters going, I don't know, maybe it's a quick one. Maybe the clock's moving quite a bit.
Yeah.
We always refer to David Smith as just like a difference maker on the field, Greg, before you go, we wanted to ask you, we love the NJIC, like just how they are able to have this type of format that they do, right? With the divisions and then the semifinals and the championship, like no other conference does. We just want to get your thoughts on how they format their conference and are able to do that.
Well, first of all, it's a great showcase for the small schools. I started in this business 20 years ago. So I've been at it for a while, and I've always kind of enjoyed the small school atmosphere. I've had relatives play football at small high schools. I wasn't a high school football player. I was a stat nerd, which is where I am now. But that small school thing is really, it gets the communities together. You can be at Rutherford, and I know other towns may have done this like Pagoda before, but Rutherford, they've always got the fire truck there, sirens going off for the, whenever the Bulldogs score a touchdown, the Rutherford Bulldogs score a touchdown. So it's great because, communities come together, and really the way they've handled the scheduling, we've covered this on NorthJersey.com before. Yeah, it might give them a bit of a PowerPoint boost or, a boost when it comes down to playoff time. Whereas, other conferences might not have figured that out yet. But look, it all shakes out over time. I love the way the NJIC does things. I'm not just saying that. I do have to, full disclosure, give a shout out to Mark Sinclair. Asked me the last couple of years, actually, to be the MC at NJIC Media Day. And but see, that's a great example of it, because I've been to Super Football Conference Media Day, 112, 113 teams, whatever it is. That's a big deal. But you know what? The NJIC knows how to make a big deal out of small schools. So I think that's really why it's so much fun, and it's bringing the communities together. One more full disclosure: this is probably the first time in 4 or 5 years I won't be the NJIC championship game. You will be in the capable hands of Darren Cooper, but I have elsewhere to be that night.
Okay.
I gotta say this though,
We'll
Greg.
miss your soft, soothing voice.
No, I am telling you though, if you cannot get to a game and you're covering a game, Greg, and I'm dead serious about this, like just following on Twitter, I actually feel like I'm getting a full update of like what's going on in the game. So it's awesome. So people, if they can't, if they're at a game, you're going to be doing playoff games and stuff like that, just please follow Greg, because again, if you can't get there, it's like basically the next thing of like watching the game, because you're throughout the whole night, and that's awesome.
Well, it's much appreciated. I didn't put it on the screen, but it's on X Twitter. I call it X Twitter. You know why? Because it's like that's former Twitter. X means former, so it's just I'm a pun guy. At NJTags13. That's my X Twitter handle. If you want to follow along, and you might have to, because I'll be at Northern Highlands Ramapo this week. Probably the public school game of the year, of the regular season anyway. And who knows if any people are going to be able to get near that place. So it'll be a lot of fun. And I'll be following along too with at Varsity Aces and Darren being at the NJIC game, because
we got two audience questions real quick. Welcome, Greg. If I can ask you a question, which school coming out of the NJIC could be a sleeper team heading into the state playoffs?
Oh, hey, look at that. Yeah, there's a chat room. Well, first of all, I see the one about the neutral site. We might have, that's a topic for another time, but it's a perfectly valid topic. Sleeper team, I think Woodridge is probably what I saw from them last week. Again, things have to break right. They got to play, the almost perfect game, and they really did last week. In fact, there were probably 2 chances where they could have added a score. They had a big fumble return on a bad snap. They had a touchdown called back by a penalty. They could have gone for a field. I think they were close enough. I'm not as familiar with their kicker this year as I've been in years past, but they passed up a field goal to try and go for the touchdown. Either one of those, and it's a whole different game. So, again, Rutherford made the plays when it counts, but Woodridge, they may take something out of that game, and a little something might just be a chip on their shoulder too. So watch out for Woodridge in Group 1.
All right, great.
Okay.
Greg, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate you coming on and lending your expertise to our show this evening. So you can say, "Go Bulldogs." Just kidding.
I could, but I grew up in towns with cat mascots, basically. Whatever.
Oh, thank you so much. Have a good evening.
Have a good one, Greg. Thank you for joining us.
Good night.
Okay, there's Tom. There's Greg Tartaglia. And again, listen, follow him. He does an unbelievable job on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. Again, just great. And hey, it's like he's missing that game, but he's going to see Northern Ireland. Ramapo, they had both games the same nights,
All right, well, we're going to move right on to our next guest, and we are going to bring in a trio of sophomores from Hasbrook Heights. So please allow me to bring in Nick Haynes, Michael Colinari, and Jack Faccarino. So let me get them in here. Hold on. My thing is, let's get in Nick and Michael and Jack. Hi, guys. How you doing?
Hi, how are you?
guys, how are you?
Good. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. We really appreciate you guys giving us the time.
I will start again. This is the sensational sophomores from Heights. So I will just start with Michael. Every week we look at the stats and it's like Colinari leads the team in tackles. Colinari leads the team in tackles. He's got 12, 14, 16. So and the most sacks on the team for a sophomore. So, two-part question: how much do you love playing defense, and what is just your mindset when you're out there defensively?
Well, I've always liked to play defense more than offense, like since growing up playing football. So I think it's just like the better side of the ball, to be honest. And my mindset, I'm not really sure. It's kind of just like I gotta get my reads, do my job, because I trust in the rest of the defense that they're gonna do their job, and we'll just be able to make the play as a team.
Well, I got to say, you're just an unbelievable player. You're all over the field. And I just got to mention a question off cue here. Coach Bertola, right? Coach Bertola. First, I'm going to tell you this about Coach Bertola. You talk about a linebacker. That guy was insane, man. I mean, he played for low tight end linebacker, but seriously, I think he was like an all-state linebacker. He was just, he's nuts. He's not, we will all call him, he's nuts, but he's a great guy. And you know what? He's a great coach. So to have you guys have him, and we always say, like, as great as your offense is with all your weapons, we saw you guys like versus St. Mary's, and we saw you guys, and your defense is just unbelievable. And Coach Bertola does a great job. So I just want to give Coach Bertola a shout out.
No, definitely.
That St. Mary's game when was the first time we saw you guys this
Yep.
year, and we had a feeling there was going to be something special because, like Kurt said, you guys get it done on both sides there. And Michael, as coaches, I don't know, we just always love when kids take that pride in defense. So that's a good thing to hear. Jack, I'm going to come to you next. Heights has always prided themselves on their run game. This year, your run game has been phenomenal. So can you tell me what it means to be playing on the Heights offensive line to support that?
Yeah, it's great. Like playing behind the seniors and Harris Cromanhawk and Cooper Hines, they're our leaders of the line. Coach Asari does a great job preparing us every week to win.
Nice.
I'm going to go to Nick, and I remember going to the St. Mary's game, and we were like, okay, Brady Shine, Nipatella, Napolitano. We always say his name wrong anyway, but Napolitano. Then we see 22. Who's this guy running the ball? Like, who's this guy? Like, he's a sophomore. So I guess my two-part question for you is, how nice is it to be part of an offense that has tons of weapons all over the field? And then can you talk a little bit about your running style?
I love having all these weapons on the offense. It honestly helps me run because, we could pass, and then obviously we have Michael Napolitano, which all the teams are looking out for. And it really sets me up to run how I run.
And your running style, because you're like Napolitano's like, he's a speed guy, right? But like, you're a little different than him. You're more of like a physical guy, I think, right? You still have your speed, but I don't know. Like, you talk about your style a little bit.
Well, I try to base my running off of Bo Jackson, which is.
Oh my God, I'm a diehard Bo Jackson fan.
Yeah.
I'm a diehard Bo Jackson fan.
He did it all. He could hit people. He outran them. He could, he was evasive, and I try to do that. My role this year is to get the dirty yards, and I just try to run hard and get as many as I can.
I'm going to come to Michael, kind of speaking of like your roles. Like, here you guys are sophomores, right? And you're playing like a really big role as a sophomore on like a really good team this year and like a great program. So like, what does that mean to you to be in this great program, but also having a pretty significant role already as a sophomore?
It's a blessing to be able to have the role that I have on the amazing team because we get to play behind the seniors who are really good. We have Harris, we have Coop, we have Nico, Jalil, Armani, Knapp, Brady Shine. Like, we just have a bunch of seniors that we are playing for, and all of like the coaching staff's great. They always help us out if we ever need it or anything. And it's just such a blessing to be able to have the role that I have on the team at my age.
That's great. Nick, Michael kind of like hit on it a little bit there, like talking about the seniors. So I'm going to come back to you on this. How has it been for you guys to be like, under the influence of these seniors as leaders, right? Have they taken you under their wing? Are you guys learning from them? And, once they leave, do you hope to kind of carry on what they've taught you?
100%. For me, I'd say that Knapp has been my role model for the team. Last year, as a freshman, I was watching him, put up crazy stats or whatever he did, and everyone else, I'd say, also, I can look up to because they all work hard, and they all get the job done when they have to.
Jack, I'm going to come to you and the same question, right? I mean, obviously you guys it's your team too, and you guys are a huge part of the team, even as sophomores, but how important is it for you guys, right? Like you sophomores to say, you know what, like we want to make the rest of the season special for those seniors, for what they did for you, how they took care of you. Like you want to make sure they end their career on a real high note.
Yeah, I think it starts with practice. We got to go into practice each and every day, working 100%. Because they're playing for the state sectional title. Like we have more years to come. Like this could be it for them, and we don't want it to end. So we just got to keep working.
I want to read a comment real quick. And this is from Kenny Kirkpatrick from Maryland, and he's saying NJIC championship is important, but state playoffs is the grand prize, and Heights will be under the radar. You guys kind of feel like that a little bit? Who wants to jump in? Give Michael, let you answer that one.
Could you read it again, please?
Yeah, he said like the NJIC championship is important, right? You guys obviously aren't there. You guys played a great game versus Butler, but he's saying the state playoffs, the state championship is the grand prize, and that he thinks Heights is going to be like you guys are under the radar.
Flying under, maybe unnoticed a little bit more than the NJIC.
Yeah, it is. The playoffs are going to be like the prize. We're going to have to like get through them. And I feel like Heights, like us as a team, we haven't been talked as much like about, which is like, doesn't really matter. You don't really need to be talked about that much to be a great football team. So we just have to come into the playoffs and give it all that we got and execute. And I think that we will do pretty well.
Hey, this is the second time I got to correct somebody. We talk about you all the time. We know how good Heights is. That's all I'm going to say. We know what Heights is about. All right, my last one. We're going to go to all of them. Jen, you get the order.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Let's do Nick and Jack.
All right. So again, you guys have a lot more to go the rest of this season, right? Playoffs and stuff like that. Big game this week, huge game this week, but 2 more seasons after this year together for you guys. How bright is the Heights future?
Nick.
I think we have a really bright future. Us three, we already have a pretty big role in the team, I'd say. And I think that we have a lot more room to grow and get better as the years go on. And I think that it will only help us for the future.
All right. And Jack, anything to add on to that?
Yeah, I think we're going to have a really bright future. Like me, Nick, and Michael, we've been playing together since we were 8 years old. We already have that chemistry. So following with all the other sophomores, I think senior year, we're going to be a really good group.
That's awesome. I love that you guys, again, another thing about the small schools, right? They've been playing together since Pee Wee.
We got to get Michael's thoughts.
Yeah. Oh, wait, Michael, last one.
Honestly, not even looking at senior year yet, but I feel like next year we could also be really good because like they were both saying, we have the chemistry, and also there's a bunch of juniors that kind of, like the other guy said, fly under the radar. Like Jake Britton, he's been a huge help on defense. And there's like a couple other, like Matt Samperi, Rocco Pantoliano, that just help our team. And I feel like us next year and the year after when we're seniors, that will just be like a pretty good team.
Well, I'm going to say this. Heights, I think, is their futures. And with you 3 guys, the future's bright, man, because you guys are just unbelievable players. And listen, you're playing for Heights, and Heights is a great tradition. So listen, that future is bright.
Thank you so much, guys. Nick and Michael and Jack, we really appreciate you guys taking the time to come join us tonight. And best of luck to you guys the rest of the way.
Thank you.
Thank you for having
Good
us.
luck this week, guys. Good luck.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, there they are, the sophomore sensations from Heights, right? And 3 of them. And listen, playing, hey, major contributions on a great team, and that future is listen, the present is bright, but the future is also bright with that group.
Yeah, 100%. Well, let's talk a little bit about their next matchup, right? They they have Glen Rock coming up, right? So here they have, like, after their loss to Butler, they've racked up 2 wins since then. You know, it's funny, you use fly under the radar. I keep using that term for their opponent next week, Glen Rock. I feel like Glen Rock is a fly under the radar team coming in at 6-1, right? They could maybe easily be where Rutherford is in the NJIC championship.
100%.
Arguably Heights could too, right? They're both very similar makeups and like how their season has kind of panned out. You know, Heights has responded really well to their 2 losses, right? They had their opening season loss in the Aviator Classic, right? Bounced right back, reeled off wins until they hit, Butler, bounced back from that loss as well. Glen Rock, same thing, so yeah, thoughts on the game?
Jen, Heights won 6 out of 7. Again, like you said, the only loss is a touchdown loss where they had the lead against Butler. Last week, they're dynamic. Against Park Ridge, against a good Park Ridge team, ran for 349 yards. Again, Nick Patella, Brady Shine, obviously Napa Latano, Haynes as offensive weapons, Culinary leading that defense, right? I mean, listen, we say it every week, weapons all over the field for them. But Glen Rock, like you said, Jen, they're 3 points away from a perfect season, right? Against the Rutherford team. Defense, but you know what? Hey, that defense just held Avery Cano, led by Spitter. I always say his name wrong too. Spittarelli or Jack Spittarelli, Eric Barrett. They held Cano to 44 yards. But listen, they're going to get tested this week against this Heights offense. But this is like a playoff game. Like this is like a state playoff game, an NJIC playoff game. These 2 teams are hot. These 2 teams and have big time aspirations come playoff time.
All right. And our next game that we're going to preview really quickly before our next guest is the Lyndhurst at Park Ridge game. You stole my stats there. I think Greg Tartaglia mentioned it as well. Somebody else mentioned it prior. Maybe you mentioned it earlier. And Avery Cano of Lyndhurst, was shut down by Glen Rock. It's only time he did not score a touchdown all season and was held to 44 yards, right? Lyndhurst, though, despite that, played closely against really good Glen Rock team, right? So, and you have Park Ridge, who's riding on Patrick Randolph and his 15 touchdowns on the season.
By the way, I just saw him. Brandon Vega's ready to go. He just messaged, "I'm ready." Like he's ready to go. We'll get to Brandon in a second. But let's do this real quick. Lyndhurst, Jen, right? 2 tough losses in a row. Now they're on the outside looking in for the playoffs, right? You said Cano had a tougher game. Hey, give credit to that Glen Rock defense. Alan Frias, though, had a big one. But Park Ridge, again, another tough loss. They were leading. I believe they were beating Heights at one point. That game was close at half. But you know what, Jen? That Heights defense, led by Culinary Group, 24 carries, 64 yards for Patrick Randolph. I mean, that's less than 3 yards a carry for that defense. They're going to need Aiden O'Connor and Nate Shannon to make some plays. And Jen, Emery Gordon, a freshman playing defense for them. Watch out for this kid. But this, again, another good game. Backs out, both of these teams with the backs. Hey, they better win this game. They have to win this game for their playoff aspiration.
All right. And let's move on. Let's see. Up there is Brandon. Perfect. Let me grab him in. And we're moving on to our next guest. We're going to welcome from Sea Caucus, Brandon Vega, who last week against Pagoda had 216 rushing yards and 3 touchdowns. So let's welcome him in.
Hey guys.
Hey Brandon, how you doing?
Sorry, I don't know how to work this thing.
No, that's fine. I love it. Let's go. Let's get you in.
I'm ready.
All right.
Let's go.
Awesome. You're up.
All right, Brandon. Thank you for coming so much. Thank you for we appreciate you coming on during the week.
Of course, thanks for having me.
Fantastic. Listen to me. Fantastic player. You guys, right? You guys took care of Pagoda, one of the hottest teams in the league, right? We talk about Woodridge and all that stuff. And you know what? Pagoda handled Woodridge. Pagoda handled Woodridge 2 weeks ago, going into you guys. So Pagoda is one of the hottest teams in the league. How did it feel to get a big win over them last week?
It felt amazing, honestly. We weren't really nervous. We weren't worried a lot. We knew who we had to stop. We game planned very well for them the whole entire week. And big shout out to the defense. I mean, like you said, defense wins championships, and it showed on Friday. We're just dominant. D-line was in Pagoda's face practically every play. But yeah, I mean, our defense definitely they won the game for sure.
Well, you know what? You had a phenomenal game, as an individual with your 216 yards and 3 touchdowns. Why do you think the run game was so successful that night?
Big heads up for the linemen. I mean, the linemen do it all. Those are the most important people on the field, and they block very well. And I just really wish they can block like that every game, because if they can block like that every game, we'll be unstoppable. But yeah.
Okay, so that's in the rear view mirror, right? The Pagoda win. Now you guys travel this week to Cresskill. Okay, a good Cresskill team. Can you talk a little bit about what it's going to take to beat Cresskill this weekend?
Coach Sal is going to have a very good game plan for us. He's a great coach. Uh, like I said, our defense has to be awake against Cresskill. They have a really good QB. They have really good position players, but so do we. And if everyone does their job, we'll be good. It's in our hands. The opportunity is in our hands, and it depends on how we come up to Cresskill that night.
And I want to talk to you a little bit about heading into the playoffs here, right? You guys are sitting roughly right now in like the 12th spot in the PowerPoint, right, regarding playoff seedings. So how big of a game is this for you guys, and what would it mean for you to get back into the playoffs?
It's huge. It's definitely huge. We haven't made it to the state playoffs since 2013, I believe. So, it's a goal. We're not really worried about the state playoffs right now. We're worried about Cresskill. But if we beat Cresskill, it will definitely it will be a good run for us. And then we worry about the state playoffs. But Cresskill, it's gonna be a great game. Honestly, it's gonna be a huge game.
I just got to ask you real quick, 30 seconds or less. What was the feeling like? Like, how was that locker room after you guys beat Pagoda? How was the school back on Monday? Like, was just there like this buzz around back about this football team? Like, listen, this was a big victory you guys just had.
Students were shocked. Teachers were shocked. I heard at least 50 teachers say, good game, great game.
Cool.
And it's always a good feeling hearing that, because we don't really hear that a lot. We had a couple of rough years. But it just gives us motivation, and it like shows like what we are capable of. You know what I mean? It's amazing, honestly. And hopefully, as the years go on, from the younger kids, I hope they keep going. And I just wish for the best for the program. Honestly, it's big. It's huge for the town and the community.
That's great. Well, best of luck to you this week as you guys take on Cresskill, and hopefully you do get that playoff berth.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
All right. We'll hope to have you back on soon.
Yep.
Congratulations. You're
Thank
a
you.
great player, Brandon.
Keep
Great
up the
player.
good work.
Thank you, Kurt. Thank you guys for having me. Have a good night.
You
Good
got
night.
it. Have a good one. Brandon Fagan, what a game he had, over 200 yards. And listen, that Pagoda team, we talked about them all last week, Jen, right? We talked about how, Jaden Gonzalez and stuff. And he's giving the shout out to the defense and the O-line. So smart man right there. Smart man.
I was waiting for that comment.
That's
course.
it.
As mentioned, they have Cresskill this week, right? So they just come off an impressive win over Pagoda. Cresskill, great game last week from Jake Lewin, their quarterback, 187 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, also 13 tackles in their win over Pal Park.
Jen, this is another playoff winning you're in, lose, and hey, you got to hope to get in, right? Seaclark has won 2 of 3. Again, the combination of Vega and Joe Pinto, those guys have been going crazy. Cresskill, Jen, broke a 2-game losing streak. Obviously, he mentioned about the great quarterback, Jake Lewin. We know he throws it around, right? You got Reiner, Joey Connolly, who we had on the show, and Nick Galella. Again, those guys, even Lewin last week, part of that defensive staff, 37 tackles between those 3. This game is going to be, I'm telling you, this is, again, another must win for both of these teams, but it's a must watch for a lot of people too, because listen, you're going to have, again, players all over the field. We're going to see what that Seaclark's defense can do this week, because, hey, Creskill's coming in with especially throwing the ball.
All right, for our next guest, we just want to give a quick little breakdown of the Powell Park at Bogota game, right? Powell Park was playing with some confidence, racking up 2 wins in a row before their close loss to Cresskill last week. Bogota, I mentioned them at the beginning of the show as one of my surprise teams. I was expecting that to be a little closer of a game, but hats off to Secaucus for getting it done.
Don't ever say Secaucus. It's Secaucus.
I know. This
I
discussion
know.
we always have.
I know. I don't even know what's right, but it just sounds better,
I don't know.
Secaucus.
Sometimes I like totally interchange how I should have
Yeah.
asked Brandon while he was on.
Yeah. Listen, hey, Powell Park again. We had him on a couple weeks ago. Shane Armstrong, Tristan Bailey. The offense is going to run. Offense and defense is going to run both between those guys. And again, listen, Jaden Gonzalez got slowed down. Give credit to Secaucus. You know they're going to want to bounce back. They were talking about last weekend in the home playoff game. I mean, they got to make sure now they get this win to solidify a playoff, berth. But again, defensively, it's both Gonzalez's, Jason Alvarado. So, hey, must win again on both teams.
All right, well, let's roll to our next guest. We are going to bring in Kobe St. Hilaire from New Milford. So let's get Kobe ready to come on in. Hey, Kobe, how you doing? Oh, we can't hear you, actually. We don't have your audio.
Hello?
There we go. There we go. How you doing?
How y'all doing? Good. Good. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Thanks for having me on again.
Well, thank you for the intro. We played it today. It's awesome.
Oh, you did hear it.
you.
Good. So we're going to call you the voice of
NJIC football.
So coming off another great game, 251 yards and 4 touchdowns versus St. Mary's.
Kobe, thank you so much. We got our first comment from Eric S. saying Kobe, 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 Kobe. So
yeah, that's my dad.
there you go. All right. So you played St. Mary's. Listen, I coached at St. Mary's, and it was the first time I think I've ever been on the show, and I picked against St. Mary's. So thank you for making me that pick. Jen picked. So thank you for that. But how big of a win was that for you guys to get last week for St. Mary's?
It was a huge win. Honestly, knowing our ranking in the playoffs and like the PowerPoints wise, like it was a huge win for the team. And honestly, I probably was one of the most complete games we played all year. Offensively, obviously, with the blocking and everything, I got to do what I got to do. And on defense, we played they played the best defense they played all year. A couple interceptions, a couple sacks, is really what we need to play and how we need to play every game.
That's great. So nice to be peaking at the right time, right? Heading into this time of year. You had a great game individually, 251 yards, 4 touchdowns. What did you guys do that made you be able to have a rushing performance like that?
Honestly, we really just obviously coming off I think it was a short week because we played on Saturday against Butler and then we played on Thursday night. Just coming off a short week, you just made sure to just have a strong week of practice, but obviously just try to save our legs and stuff, because coming off a short week. And honestly, we just stay locked in. I know they had some big bodies on the line, and obviously my O-line was just working hard enough to just move those big bodies and find holes for me.
Okay, so you guys won 4 out of 5. You guys have a nice little hot streak. Now you're playing a team that's won 4 in a row, right? Yeah. Dylan Ferreira, Luciano Mayer. Listen, you know what they're going to do? They're going to come out. They're going to run the ball and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. What's important in this matchup against Waldwick?
Obviously, the most important thing is just stopping the run. I've been checking the wall. I'm just watching the film. The quarterback, I think Dylan
Ferreira. Yep.
He's a freak of nature. I've been hearing stuff, But yeah, honestly, it's just our biggest thing is just stopping the run. I've seen on the line they have a couple of big bodies too, just like St. Mary's. So definitely just being able to move those bodies and opening holes up for me, and hopefully just getting the run game started can open up the pass game, and obviously just playing defense how we played last week,
Comment from Elijah St. Hilaire. Proud of you, little bro.
Oh. Getting the family love, it sounds like tonight in the comments. So nice. Right now, you guys in that PowerPoint rankings are right around the number 7 spot, right? What would it mean for you guys to maybe even jump up a spot or two and maybe secure like a home game?
It's huge, honestly. We know this is another big game, just like St. Mary's last weekend. As a team, we definitely we have to win this game. Like there's nothing else we can do about it. We have to win this game, and especially another big reason is just trying to get one more home game for these seniors, Like they've been working hard the past 4 years of their life, even when New Milford was at their lowest and, just coming back, like kind of peaking again, like they definitely deserve one more home game. And that's what we're going to work towards, getting a win so that hopefully we move up a good amount that we're secure to win.
Saint Sound from YouTube saying yes, sir. And there he is. There's Melvino commenting in. Kobe, a dog, my brother. So,
Yeah.
Kobe, thank you so much for joining us. It was a pleasure to have you on.
Thank you for having me again.
No, our pleasure. And we, keep up the good work. Your stats are
Thank
so
you.
impressive. We love looking each week to see how you've performed.
yeah, we said, oh, this week was only 250 something. That's it. But no, hey, you are an outstanding player. We look forward to the rest of the year this year, next year. Thank you for being our sound clip. And listen, we know you'll be on here a lot more time. So
yes, sir. Thank you for having me again. Have a good night.
Our pleasure. Have
a
good
good
night.
one. Toby St. Hilaire, New Milford running back. And listen, that changed everything for that team. I mean, they got the Johnson brothers now there. And listen, they're big up front. Dylan Ferreira now.
Let's talk about that matchup.
Let's talk about
exactly. The New Milford at
real
Waldwick.
quick. Let me just get this. Jamie Velez saying Team Comey. Mamba mentality.
Oh, I love it. Little Kobe Bryant reference there. You mentioned it in one of your questions. New Milford's won 4 of the last 5. Waldwick 4 in a row. We've got Kobe with rushing yards for New Milford, and we've got Dylan Ferreira, quarterback from Waldwick, who we had on. I want to say it was last week, possibly 2 weeks ago, who not only impressed me with his stats, but with his coach's mentality. Yeah.
Listen, talk about hot teams, right? New Milford won 4 out of 5. Waldwick won 4 out of 4, right? Won their last 4. You got St. Hilaire. You got, Dylan Ferreira. I mean, this game might be over in 40 minutes. I mean, it just might be run all the time. But hey, you know what? What defense steps up? Listen, what offensive line blocks better and what defense can stop the run? That's what this game's going to come down to. And you let the stars do their thing. And you know what? Kobe St. Hilaire is a star, and we all know Dylan Ferreira is a star. So it's going to be an exciting game to watch. And, hey, defenses are going to be sore. I'll tell you this. The defenses are going to be sore this weekend from what's coming with the run game from both of these teams.
Our last game to break down before we get to our next guest is actually 4-4 Garfield at 3-5 St. Mary's. Garfield been in a few real tough matches there where they could have gone either way. So their 4-4 record could easily, have been a couple more on the win column. And, St. Mary's that had a 3-game win streak and then they've lost 2 tough ones in a row here. So, they really kind of got to get back on track.
Yeah. And there's a little special, thing with this game too, right? I mean, there's a lot of Garfield kids on St. Mary's, right? So, like you said, Garfield lost 2 tough ones. St. Mary's lost 2 tough ones, but the little special thing is, you got Thomas Messina, Huertas. You got some Garfield kids going against their old hometown and vice versa. So we're going to see, kids were banged up. We got to see what the status of Bruton is. And, he had 12 carries last week. Is he going to be able to go? McCullough came back after getting hurt in the Becton game. Listen, a little extra juice to this game, both teams, for not just for playoffs, but, for a little town rival juice.
All right, I'm going to skip. We're going to do our stats, but I'm going to skip to our top dog of the week here.
Okay.
Because I want to make sure we get our top dog in. And again, I say it every week. I thank him for waiting. And he is a student athlete. We want to make sure we get him in here. So Bo's top dog, our weekly player of the week, is brought to you by Puppies and Tattoo Dog Grooming with locations in North Arlington, Montclair, Fairlawn, and a mobile grooming service as well. A dog groomer for all breeds. And our top dog of the week is Miles Balkin of Rutherford this week, leading them to victory to earn them a spot in the NJIC championship with 178 passing yards and throwing for 2 touchdowns.
And what's not on there, Jen, is just how clutch he was on that final drive, getting him in the end zone, getting the lead.
Let's I think that's one of you want to discuss that a little bit. So let's get Miles in here and let him tell us about it there. Hi, Miles. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, how are you guys?
Doing well, thank you. Thanks for waiting for us. We apologize for being running a little behind.
Oh, of course, no worries.
Jen talks all night long, so that's on Jen. But I'm going to say this. Thank you so much for coming through in the clutch. Because I don't know if you watched last week, but my third key to the game last week was called Big Game Balkan. So when I'm watching that game and I said, all right, you guys take the lead, I said, I hope this guy comes true because I'm either going to look really bad or I'm going to look really good. So you made me look really good, Miles. I want to tell you. So Big Game Balkan on that, but congratulations. That was an unbelievable drive. My first question, what were your thoughts, you guys get in the huddle that final drive, you guys are down, and NJIC championship game in the balance. What are your thoughts?
Well, simple as it is, I mean, it was just score. I mean, there's no other option. We had to, and everything was on the line. A lot of things didn't go our way, but we needed to fight through adversity. I was on the mic actually in the booth talking to Coach Ryan, and I threw a costly turnover in that game inside their own 40-yard line or our 40-yard line. And he got on the mic and he told me, we're going to get the ball back and we're going to score. And, it gave me a little boost. And right when I went out there, I knew there was no other thing that we were going to do other than score. And we got it done. So.
Amazing. It was amazing to watch as well. Miles, we had Coach Dunn on before and a few of your teammates. And obviously we broke down the matchup against Butler. But I want to get your thoughts on the Butler team from your perspective.
Well, we know that they're a very good team. And up to this point, they're definitely the best team we played so far. Obviously, that's why they're in the championship. And obviously, they have a lot of firepower on offense. Their defense is strong. But if we just keep doing our job like we've been doing, play hard defense, and score on offense more than we did this week against Woodridge, and keep the ball pushing downfield, not turning the ball over, then I think we have a really good shot.
I'm not sure when you were on last time if I asked you this question. I might have, I might have actually asked Coach Dunn the question when he was on one time. But, you played in an NJIC championship game as a freshman. You probably weren't expecting that, but you wound up being the quarterback there. You guys win the NJIC championship. Now you're back in your junior year. How much further along have you come as a quarterback, though, since playing that game as a freshman?
I think I've came a pretty long way, and I'm definitely not done improving. There's a lot I need to clean up still, but, back then I was very nervous. I wasn't ready yet, I didn't think. And, I think I did a decent job of getting us wins, but I felt like I wasn't more of a key piece to that team, and I was kind of just moving things along. Now I feel like I really help our team win in a bigger way and, really being a leader of that offense.
All right. NJIC championship. It's in your house. What are the feelings? What's that feeling going to be like?
They're great. It's very special knowing next year, even if we do make it that far next year, the championship can't even be at home. And Dunn's been saying that. And to win it our junior year on our field, it'd be very special. So.
You know what? That's a good point. I didn't even think about that. You guys know.
Yeah.
And I think hint spoiler. I think you're going to be back there next year because you guys got a couple of some talent coming back next year. But that's a great point, Miles. I didn't think of that. It's just not going to happen at home next year. This is the last time you guys will ever have an NJIC championship opportunity at home.
Yeah.
Coach Dunn is on top.
Oh yeah.
Miles, congratulations on being our top dog. Congratulations on the success you have achieved so far this season, but we know you are not done. So good luck on Friday night and the rest of the season as well.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys so much.
Good luck, Miles. Congratulations. Good luck Friday.
Thanks. See you soon.
Good night.
Good night.
Hey, Miles Balkin. And listen, when we watched it, I think you were watching it with me, and I said, here comes the drive and see what he does. And you know what? Hey, he came through in the clutch, stood in there, made some great plays, great throws. And listen, it's about winning. And it's about winning and delivering in the clutch. And that's what he did last Friday night. And he's going to have to do it again this Friday night.
All right. Well, it has come to that point in the segment where we are ready to make our picks for the
Patrick.
week. I know I don't see him in the room.
Oh, did he
Yeah,
leave?
so that's why I didn't bring him in. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so let's bring in. It's going to be like the band is back together. We have our two backstage interns from last year. We are joined by Eli and Jack. Welcome back, guys. We've missed you.
I am so glad to be back. Great to be back. And you said it best. The band is back together.
Let's go.
It's great. Yeah, it's great to be back. Super excited to join you guys tonight.
Awesome. How's school? Eli, you are at Seton Hall, correct?
Yeah, I'm doing great. It's been a great time and doing a lot of stuff for the ESPN Plus broadcast and stuff and the radio station at WSOU. I was at Big East Media today. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, school's been great.
We might have seen a few clips of you doing your thing.
So by the way, did you get to see the GOAT, Coach Patino, today?
I did not. No, I didn't get to his table. We were with Seton Hall mostly.
And the future Final Four team this year is St. John's?
I don't know about that one, but okay.
You guys haven't missed it. It always turns back to Kurt.
And how about Jack with Indiana? Your football team, man. What is going on?
Whoa.
Kurt Signetti is the Lord and Savior here in Bloomington. But yeah, school's been great so far. I've been doing, like Eli, a bunch of stuff at the radio station here at WIUX. This past week, actually, I was up in Indianapolis at Gamebridge Fieldhouse where the Pacers play, doing a volleyball game for IU. So that was really fun. And like just like some like writing stuff. Eli and I still do our show that we started 2 years ago, our 12th Horseshoe podcast about the NFL. But yeah, it's been a great time here in Indiana. I'm coming back home in about 5 weeks for Thanksgiving, so I'm definitely looking forward to that.
Jack, don't ever use the word Pacers on this show again.
Well, I'm sorry. I am in the.
Don't ever you know that.
I'm in their home state now, so I kind of have to.
It begins tomorrow.
Oh, and I was told to deliver a message to you, Kerr.
Uh-oh.
You got to come back on to Surge Sports. You got to bring the show and the whole crew back to Surge Sports. To bring it on to Surge Sports.
Is that from Mr. Bobby Blackjack?
That is from Mr. Bobby Blackjack. We got to get you back on Whole Hoops and Happenings, our show that airs on Tuesdays at 8 o'clock for Seton Hall.
Oh, you guys don't want me on that podcast.
We want the chemistry there for that one, but yeah.
Okay.
They want you guys back on Surge. Let's go.
Okay.
All right. Well, let me really quickly, guys, while you're in here, though, let me just throw up our pick'em standings here. Eli and Jack, you guys will appreciate this. Even though Kurt and I are tied, I put him in the first spot, because of his ego a little bit, right?
Knows.
So I see Jack laughing.
Knows.
It knows. And Kenny is at 67 and 33 there in third place. Our pick'em segment is brought to you by Villa Italian Pizzeria and Restaurant located in Lyndhurst. So very supportive of the community. We're thankful for them for sponsoring this segment. So guys, we'll do you are our guest pickers, so you guys are going to pick first. We'll go Eli, then Jack. Okay, and then I don't have Kenny's pick. Oh, you do? Okay. Yep. All right. So Kurt will do. I'll do my pick, and then you can do you and Kenny.
We forgot the Kurt number one with Jack, how we did last year. Of course, the staple, the number one. I remember all those moments.
Yeah. All right, our first game of the on the week 8 slate is Lodi at Wallington. Eli, first.
Really, it's an interesting game. This Lodi Wallington game. I really think that Wallington's going to get their second win, and I think Wallington's going to beat Lodi 26-8 in this one.
All right, Jack.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I'm really picking these off the fly. I really wish I could have followed more NJ high school football this year. I've been so busy here though, but got an interesting one here. Looks like Lodi still looking for their first win. How about that? That is not. It's been a rough year for them, I guess. Wallington 1-7. Yeah, I agree with Eli. Wallington's at home. I think they'll get their second win. I'll go 25-14. Give me Wallington.
Kenny's going Lodi 14-7.
Right, I have Wallington in this one.
I'm going Wallington too, Jen. The running game, like you said, they've been better the last couple of weeks. I think Wallington gets win number 2.
All right, and our next matchup is Elmwood Park at Weehawken.
Well, this is another very interesting matchup here. You have a 1-7 Elmwood Park team and a Weehawken that's 2-5. Weehawken is home for this matchup, and I look for them to get the victory over Elmwood Park 21-6.
It is no surprise that Eli's picking Weehawken. I think that's his favorite high school football stadium, with it being right over the Lincoln Tunnel. I'm going to go with Weehawken here at home. Again, I think home field advantage. I think home field is a real advantage in high school football. And I like Weehawken played pretty decently against St. Mary's when we played them last year. They showed some good stuff, so I'll take Weehawken here.
Kenny is going with. I am sorry, Jen. Hold on one second. I have to get to my phone. Just give me 1 second.
This is usually my job to do now Kenny's picks.
I know. Weehawken 20-7. Kenny's going.
All right, I am picking Weehawken in this one as well. I think they've been playing a little stronger football right now.
I think Delahoy's a blitz. Those two guys are a little too athletic for Elmwood Park. I think it'll be a close game. I'm going to go Weehawken also.
All righty, Jack, your fantasy buddy, Coach Catrona's Saddlebrook team. Saddlebrook at North Arlington.
Oh, go ahead, Eli. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. You can go, Jack.
Okay. Because I did not know that Coach Catrona was at Saddlebrook. I knew he left. I did not know he went. Is he the head coach there? Or?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Good for him.
May influence your decision, so I want to make sure you know.
I mean, North Arlington is home in this one. They're still looking for their first home win, but you said that Coach Catrona's at Saddlebrook. I'm just gonna have to go with Saddlebrook now that you said that.
Yeah. Well, I know North Arlington's home, but I think Saddlebrook, like Wallington, gets their second win on the season. Saddlebrook 17-8 is the score.
Kenny's going North Arlington 22-14 over Saddlebrook.
All right, I have Saddlebrook in this one. I'm agreeing with you, Jack and Eli. Coach Catrona has those guys. I feel like they were close, and they got that first win. I think they get their second win as well.
Guys, I'm going to go Saddlebrook. Also, Coach Catrona. They've been, like you said, close to get the win. And guys, Dylan Cerciello, this kid is unbelievable. He's like 15 to 20 tackles a week on defense. Kid loves playing defense. I think he has another monster game defensively, and he ran for over 200. I'll go Cerciello, Vidiello, and Catrona in Saddlebrook.
All right, our next game is Powell Park at Pagoda.
This is a very good game for Pagoda. This is an opportunity to go to 6-3 for Palisades Park. It's an opportunity to get a win here. I think I'm going to go with Pagoda in this one. 27-22 is my score.
All right. Well, before I make this pick, I have two questions for you guys. First off, how's Bo?
Oh, thank you for asking. He's good. Thank you.
Good. Yeah, you've had him for a year now, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Gonna be a year in a couple of weeks.
Yep.
Time flies, doesn't it?
It does.
And second thing, I know this is we're on the NJIC show, not the North Jersey show, but as always, I have to shout out Coach Breslin and Ramapo.
Oh yeah.
That was fun to just shout them out every week last year. So
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I forgot about Ramapo and Coach Breslin. This game, I'm gonna go with Pagoda here at home. Looks like a big turnaround for them after last year, because we did a game against Pagoda as well, and it seems like, is this their second year in the? They weren't in the NJIC until last year.
Yep, this is their second year back.
Looks like they've gotten really comfortable. So good for them. Good for them having this great season. I think they keep it going. Give me Pagoda here.
Jen, how about this comment from Stephen Wilbur? I love the shirt, Kurt.
Oh,
my Adidas pink hoodie.
Gift from me.
Gift from you. I had a rocket. Kenny's going Pagoda 28-13.
I'm going Pagoda as well. I know they had a little disappointing loss last week, but I think that they get back on track with Jaden with the Y and Jaden with an I, Gonzalez. Yep.
Powell Park's been playing a lot better, but Jaden Gonzalez, I think, quarterback Jaden Gonzalez, big bounce back game. I'm going Pagoda too.
Okay. Our next game is Hawthorne at Pompton Lakes.
Hawthorne Pompton Lakes. This is a really good game. You have a 4-4 team and a 3-4 team. A really good game. Close one here. I'm going to go with Hawthorne for the victory, to take the victory on the road, 28-12.
This is a tough one. I mean, you got two teams with pretty similar records. But again, home field advantage I think is a huge thing. I think I'll take Pompton Lakes here. I'll take the Cardinals.
Kenny is going Pompton 19-14.
I don't have this one circled, guys. I don't know what to do on this one. Hawthorne, they Dylan Mejia blew
quarterback
up last week. Pompton had a very dominating win. I'm so torn on this one. You know what? I'm gonna go Hawthorne.
All right, good. I'm glad you went Hawthorne because I'm going Pompton.
All right.
I'm taking him at.
Did you say Kenny?
Kenny's going 19-14. I'm taking Pompton, right? That, like you said, Dylan Mejia had a great game at quarterback for Hawthorne, but now he's got to go to Pompton, like they said, home field advantage, and the Pompton defense led by our guy. Let me say it the right way, Radon. Right, Radon's going to lead that defense. Oh, Radon.
Yeah.
I did say it wrong. I'm going Pompton defense.
I'm sorry, Eli and Jack. Who did you guys have?
I had Hawthorne in that one.
I had Pompton.
You had Pompton. Okay. All right. Oh, I love when we have splits here, guys. Love when we have it. All right. Our next game is Sea Caucus at Cresskill.
Sea Caucus Cresskill. This is an interesting one. They both have the same record. Sea Caucus is on this road of rebuilding, and they're doing a great job so far from what I'm seeing. And you know what else is in Sea Caucus? The train. And trains usually go forward. And when the train goes forward,
I like it, Eli.
Train's going forward at Sea Caucus, 28-21. All aboard.
Least surprising thing I've ever heard out of Eli's mouth in my life. This is an interesting one. Two teams with the same record. I don't really know what to do here. This could be anybody's game, but I'll go with Cresskill here at home.
Kenny is going, I believe he's going 27-24 Sea Caucus over Cresskill.
This is another one. Like this whole middle column on our sheet, I just had a really hard time with. We just had Brandon Vega on, who exploded, in his rushing game. Jake Lewin week to week leading Cresskill, not just at the quarterback position, but getting it done on the defensive end as well. It's really hard. Cresskill is the home team, but you know what? I feel like Sea Caucus is just building off of last week's win, playing with a lot of confidence. They have a lot at stake. I'm going to go Sea Caucus.
Yeah, Jen, so am I, right? I mean, Kresko wants to throw it around, so it's going to be a different challenge this week for Sea Caucus's defense. But hey, defense travels, and Brandon Vega obviously is going to lead that rushing attack, him and Joe Pinto. I'm taking Sea Caucus on the road.
All right, our next one is Garfield at St. Mary's.
You see, this was a tough one for me because every time I don't pick St. Mary's, they win. They win the game. So
I
I really
don't have to worry about Coach John.
I wouldn't have to worry.
No.
Down in the hallway.
Well,
though.
Eli might. Jackie, I don't think he's going to Indiana.
Jack is in Indiana, so he's fine.
Eli, he'll see Eli.
But the good news is Bobby is on the PA call this week. He's doing the PA announcing for me this week since I'm working this Saturday. And when he's on the PA, he usually gives the Gales a win. So I'm going to give the Gales the win here, 24-21 with the Bobby luck.
I like it.
Okay.
Well, I'm still kind of afraid to pick against St. Mary's. Coach Johnson might drive himself. He might drive himself out to Bloomington for that one. Yeah.
Tonight he might.
I have Kurt Signetti in my corner, so. But I have to go. It feels so weird calling myself an alumnus now of St. Mary High School, but
I know.
I'm gonna go with St. Mary's though here. I got to pick my alma mater. Give me St. Mary's.
Kenny's going 27-21 St. Mary's over Garfield.
This was a tough one too, guys, for me as well. We got Jorgeni Rodriguez, who's getting it done. I feel like stronger and stronger every game. He's a sophomore for Garfield, but I just feel like, he's just taking on a bigger role week after week. I feel like St. Mary's, has maybe, I want to use the word maybe underachieved these past few weeks, but you know what? I feel like this is a pride game for them.
Yeah.
And I think that Thomas Messina and Jonathan Hortez and I'm forgetting the quarterback who just slid in there.
Evan Cologne.
And isn't that the
Evan?
Okay, Evan Cologne and
Bruton.
George Bruton as the running back. I think I don't think they're gonna let another one slide. I'm going St. Mary's.
Yeah, Garfield has come off 2 heartbreaking losses. Where listen, they lost that tough game with 20 seconds left to Beckton. I would have got him in the playoffs. Then they played Dylan Ferreira and this Waldwick team, phenomenal, but lost that 21-14. But again, St. Mary's, right? Like, listen, I would be worried if I was picking this game, anybody but Garfield. Because, where were St. Mary's heads? 3-3. They lose 2 tough ones. But listen, a lot of those Garfield guys, Messina, Hortez, you know what I'm saying, playing against their hometown, they're going to be jacked up for this one. I'm taking Coach Johnson. I'm taking St. Mary's.
All right, our next one is Lyndhurst at Park Ridge.
Really, really good game. I had a chance to go see that Park Ridge game. And I got to tell you, though, Lyndhurst is really good. And I think they're going to keep on winning. Give me Lyndhurst 28-24 over Park Ridge.
Yeah, I'm gonna go against what I've been saying about picking the home team. I'm gonna take Lyndhurst here. I mean, obviously they were kind of a rival of St. Mary's while we were there. I mean, they always play us really competitively in basically every sport. I remember last year they were almost. I think they were in the NJIC tournament. I'm trying to remember if they were in the NJIC tournament or not. I guess they were. But yeah, I'm gonna take Lyndhurst here though on the road. I like their school. I think they're a good rival of us. I have a lot of
Okay, I am going to
respect for them,
go.
so give me Lyndhurst here.
Kenny's going Park Ridge 20, Lyndhurst 17.
Ooh.
Right, this was another one I had trouble picking, but you know what made the difference for me? Before we said how Glen Rock shut down Avery Cano and he had 44 yards and no touchdowns. And the one thing that I love, many things that I love about Avery Cano as a player is that he takes on those challenges, like when we had him as a guest, it was just so evident.
Yep.
We talked to him about like they got down by 2 scores in their first game. Boom, he came back, scored 2 touchdowns. They got down another time. He put the team on his back, tied it up. So I don't think he's going to settle for that again. So I'm going Lyndhurst on this one.
All right, this is, like you said, one of the toughest games. Again, you got Avery Cano, you got Patrick Randolph, 2 of the better sophomores, 2 of the best sophomores in this league. Playoff, listen, Park Ridge is running the border. Lyndhurst is on the outside looking in. I just thought, listen, as much as both of these, Jen, both of these guys got shut down, right? I mean, what's his name? Heights held Randolph to 64 yards.
Yeah.
But you know what? I just think they're a little more balanced. I'm going to take Park Ridge at home. I think Lyndhurst is going to see a lot of Patrick Randolph this week. I think he breaks 1 or 2. I'm going to take Park Ridge.
All right. Our next matchup, guys, is New Milford at Waldwick. Another good game.
A really good game. It is identical records. Someone's got to go forward. But New Milford had such a big win last week versus St. Mary's. Too big to be in my book. And I think they're getting another win here, 35-32 over Waldwick.
I agree. Again, big win for New Milford over St. Mary's. I think they keep that momentum going. Again, obviously, it's never easy to go on the road, but I think New Milford has the capability to win this game, and I think they will win this game. So give me New Milford.
Kenny's going 34-23 Waldwick.
Ooh.
We just had Kobe St. Hilaire on, and he missed the first 4 games of the season, and since he has put on the New Milford uniform, he has taken over like a force to be dealt with. But I love how he described Dylan Ferrara of Waldwick. I believe his exact words were a freak of nature. And that's like a really high compliment coming from Kobe St. Hilaire about, and I think it was Coach Dunn who said that he's leading the North Jersey in rushing yards, Dylan, their quarterback. This is a hard one. I'm going with New Milford. I'm giving them the slight edge here.
This is a great game. If you guys haven't watched highlights of Kobe St. Hilaire, he's just like George Boone from St. Mary's. They came in the same week together. I mean, he's averaging like over 200 yards a game. He's a game breaker. Big back, runs hard, speeds, got everything. And Dylan Ferrara, just like you said, him and Luciano Mayer. This game, I'm not even joking. This game could be over in 45 minutes to an hour. These teams are just going to run. But you know what? I'm taking New Milford. I just think their defense, Waldwick came off a tough game versus Garfield. Now that they're home, I'm still taking New Milford. I think something about St. Hilaire breaks a big one late. I'm going to take New Milford in this. I don't know if you want to call an upset, but I'm taking New Milford.
All right. Our next game is Hasbrook Heights at Glenrock.
Really, really good game. And Heights is probably one of the best teams right now that I think in my eyes is what I'm seeing here. And I can't pick against Heights. Give me 33-27 Heights.
Jack? I think Jack's been a little...
Real quick, can
it's
you guys still hear me? Yeah, it is the dorm Wi-Fi. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right. I mean, Hasbrook Heights, my hometown team, obviously having a great season this year. I believe you had it was the Heights players on before, right?
Yeah.
I think I came on right as you were.
Yep.
Okay, good. I'll take Heights here over Glenrock. I mean, Glenrock's a great team. They came into St. Mary's last year and beat us in the NJIC tournament. But I do think that, and I think you guys were at that game.
Yes,
too.
we were.
And I think Hasbrook Heights still wins this game. They're having a great season. I like what their players had to say in the interview, so I'll take. That was the thing with me last year. If we had a team on for an interview, I'd often pick them because I like what they have to say. So give me Hasbrook Heights here.
Kenny is going. Hold on one second. I'm sorry. I keep thinking of myself picks. I'm trying to think what to say. Kenny's going Glenrock 28, Heights 26.
Ooh, a good game here, right?
Yep.
I agree. I think it's going to be a good game. This is another hard one to pick. I feel like with Hasbrook Heights, we can just throw out all the names. We had the 3, sophomores on this evening: Focorino, Haynes, and Colinari. We've got Nico Nipatella at quarterback. We've got Brady Shine. They can, if they need to throw it, they've got Napolitano to run it. I mean, it just goes, and I know we're forgetting a slew of kids there. And I love how the 3 sophomores we had on this evening, when we asked about their future being bright, mentioned the juniors as well. Just such team players, which we don't want to overlook them either. And I keep describing Glenrock as my fly under the radar team for no other reason than I feel like they just are quietly getting it done week after week, right? And they have this like quiet confidence about them. Oh, this is a hard one. But you know what? I'm going Hasbrook Heights.
Yeah, listen, this is a great matchup. This is going to be power with Glenrock. You saw what Glenrock did, shutting down Avery Cano. Listen, I mean, 3-0 to Rutherford, they lost. But the one thing Heights has, and again, like you said, they have that trio of sophomore sensations that we dealt with, and they got speed though. Like they got speed. Listen, Butler had problems handling that speed. I don't know if Glenrock has seen that kind of speed. I'm taking Heights. I mean, I think this is going to be a great game. I think the lower the score, the better for Glenrock, but the more it gets higher, it's going to go with Heights. I'm going to take Heights in the speed to go on the road.
All right, our next game is Beckton at Woodridge, technically our NJIC consolation game.
This is another really good game. I like the way Woodridge has been playing lately. They're still the dominant team like usual, even without Coach Catrone, which is not surprised. And I think that we're going to get the victory over Peckton, 38-32. So give me Woodridge.
I'll take Woodridge here at home. I mean, obviously, what a first season they've had without Coach Catrona, which was obviously a huge loss, but they've been able to, turn around quickly and have a great season. No disrespect to Beckton at all here, but I think Woodridge is, we've been there. It's a really tough place to go and play, really good environment there. So I think Woodridge will take this one.
Kenny's going Beckton 23, Woodridge 20.
Okay. I'm going Woodridge in this one. I was just really impressed with what they did against a really good Rutherford team. So that's swaying me here. I'm going to go Woodridge.
Yeah, this is like, what's the state of the minds on these teams, right? Like Beckton last week in the semifinal, Butler just dominated them on their home field, up and down the field. Like, just listen, took it to them physically. Woodridge, listen, we had Greg Tartaglia there. We had Coach Dunn say, listen, they're lucky they got by Woodridge. Like the Woodridge team I saw last week could beat anybody. Can they do that again? Are they going to be up for this, that this isn't an NJIC championship? I think Coach Carbone gets them up. And I think, Iacovino, Rios, and that group and that running back and, Prado with the run defense. I'm going to go Woodridge in this one.
Yeah. A tough game to play, but you know what? Both those coaches, I think, will have their
Yep.
teams back and ready because you know what? An opportunity to play is an opportunity to play, and one opportunity might be gone, but they've got more opportunity ahead of them, more season left to play, and our culminating game of the week, the NJI Championship, with pits the Butler Bulldogs versus the Rutherford Bulldogs. Right? You can't pick the Bulldogs as our guest Greg Tartaglia did this evening to take a cop out here. You need to specify Butler or Rutherford. Eli, who do you have?
This is a really, really good game. I look at both these teams and I look at all the wins that they have. And I look at the strength of the schedules and who they played. If you look at the Rutherford side of things, their biggest opponent, as you could say, is maybe Manchester 37-14. Even Woodridge the other day, 14-13 when they got the victory last week. But you look at the Butler side of things. They beat teams like Hasbrook Heights on their schedule 43-36. And they beat teams like New Milford 28-14. For those reasons, based off the schedule, they know how to play these tough opponents. I think they're going to get the victory here. So give me the Butler Bulldogs 35-32 over Rutherford.
Well, shout out to the NCAA Butler Bulldogs, who play about an hour north of here in Indianapolis. Eli, hopefully you know that by now, being at Seton Hall.
Yes.
Okay, good. But anyways, I remember last year with Butler, we had like all those whatever you call them. I'm forgetting the word right now. Superstitions. That's it. Superstitions with Butler. Is Coach Luciani still there, right?
Yes, he is.
Okay. Coach Luciani. How about Michelle? Is she still around?
Yes.
All this stuff you went. We would.
Blue turf now.
Blue turf is still there, but they're not playing on it.
I mean, Rutherford though. Rutherford is these are the two creams of the crop in this NJIC conference. I mean, last year's a bit of an up and down season, kind of a transition year for Rutherford after losing Van Weber, their really good quarterback who's at UAlbany now. But this is going to be a great game. So I'm assuming, is it neutral site or is it at Rutherford?
At Rutherford.
At Rutherford.
Okay, that changes things a lot. This is such a great game. It's really hard to pick. Do I pick Butler, who is a favorite of ours on this show, or do I pick the town I went to high school in? It's really hard here.
That's why they pay you the big money, Jack. You got to make a decision.
It's really hard. Hey, no matter what happens, we know that the Bulldogs are going to win.
That's true.
We already had that line used by another guest. You got to pick.
I am going to go. I'm going to go Rutherford here at home. I just have so much respect. I have so much respect for Coach Dunn in that program. And I think that Rutherford ultimately wins. They have still so much good talent on that team. Who's their quarterback? I feel like I remember his name. I'm forgetting.
Miles Falcon.
Yes, him. He's very good. I think that Rutherford at home, they're going to get the win here. It's going to be a big one. Butler's the reigning NJIC champs. I think Rutherford reestablishes themselves atop the conference this year.
All right.
Mr. Kirkpatrick, Rutherford 34, Butler 28.
Wow. All righty. I think this is going to be a really interesting matchup. As you guys mentioned, we have reigning champ Butler. We have two quarterbacks, David Smith at Butler, who we keep referring to as like a game-changing type of quarterback. But Miles Balkin, since his freshman year, is accustomed to playing these types of games. Two coaches, two stellar programs. I think what's interesting is that Rutherford has been involved in, like, even though they can score, has been involved in at least two defensive battles, right? They've been tested that way. Butler hasn't been quite tested the way that Rutherford has in a game like that. And Rutherford keeps finding a way to win. But you know what? I picked Butler at the beginning of the season, and I'm not going to dethrone the reigning champs until, they kind of dethrone themselves. So I think, and I love what Coach Dunn said. I think it was Coach Dunn who said, both teams believe they can win.
Oh, absolutely. They both can win.
I think that you can say that in any game that you go into. When you're talking about a championship game, exactly. That was the thing I was going to make, is that either team can win here. It's really going to be interesting to see how they game plan, what they do, how they handle, how they make the adjustments throughout the game. But I'm going to go with Butler.
All right. When I look at it, really
transparent. See, I think there's a prop coming, Eli. That's
There's
all I'm going to say.
definitely a prop
Of course, there is. Of course. Well, Jack said if you could let him back in.
Yes, I got him right now.
Okay.
Sorry, I had to rejoin on my cell phone. My computer was acting silly. So,
So Kenny was saying, was Butler, Jen, and Kurt's champs for the preview show. Mine was Rutherford. He did pick Rutherford, and we both picked Butler.
Okay.
So I'm going to say this: like, looking realistically, I've always thought there's only two teams that can beat Butler. Do you know who the two teams in my mind are?
I'm going to say one is Rutherford, and I'm going to say the other one maybe is Glen Rock.
No. Hasbrook Heights and Rutherford. And when you look at Hasbrook Heights and Rutherford, they have a lot of similarities, right? I think you have to have a certain skill set to beat Butler, right? You have to have athletes all over the field. You have to be physical. You have to have a defense that's going to say, you know what? I know how good Davis Smith is. I know how good your offensive line is. I know you're going to run it, but you know what? We're going to stop your run, or we're going to slow down your run. And both of those teams have that. And look what Heights would. Heights was a quarter away from beating them, right? A quarter away from getting that job done. And give credit to Butler of how great they are. But I think Rutherford has the same exact team, right? I said this to you, and I promise I'll be quick on this one. No. But you look at this, right? Coach Dunn has won multiple NJIC championships. Coach Luciani has won an NJIC championships. Miles Balkin has won an NJIC championship. David Smith has won an NJIC. That doesn't happen a lot where you have a championship game and all that stuff has happened, right? Game at Rutherford is an advantage, of course, and it's an advantage. All right. I'm torn for this because this pick to me isn't about a football game today. It's not. It's sad to say it's not about a football game. I am a diehard Knick fan, guys. Okay.
We know where this is
I
going.
don't know if you can see this, but this banner, this is the last banner that we have in the Garden. Put it up. 1972. I wasn't born. Jen was born. I wasn't born.
Oh, I was not. Stop it.
But I wasn't born. Okay. You guys weren't born. So this to me, I can't do this. I cannot do this. This isn't about a football game tonight. It's not. I will say this. This is going to be a game this is going to be the game of the year. You got two great quarterbacks, two of everything. But this, I have to go one way with it. It starts tomorrow, guys. Coach Luciani, we're like this with the Knicks. I don't know if Coach Dunn's a Knicks fan. If it is, I might have changed my pick. But I'm going with Butler because Coach Luciani, you got to get yours and I got to get mine. But I so want to pick Rutherford. But because of them, let's go Knicks. I'm taking
You get a banner of the real team who plays in Madison Square Garden. That'd be
Oh, stop. Oh, stop.
What team is that? They can't even score a goal.
Oh, stop.
Great
Hey,
pick.
they
And
have
by the
won
way,
Stanley
just
Cup
want to say
20
the Billy
years,
Joe banner
20
looks great
years.
up there in the garden.
Oh,
Go
Jack,
Rangers.
it was so nice to have you guys on again, and like I said, get the band back together. So nice to see you guys continuing to do what you love now in college, and I know that we will be in touch. So thank you for taking time out tonight to join us. We appreciate it, guys.
Well, thank you so
Yeah,
much for
thanks
having us.
for having us. We really appreciate it. Always great to be on the show.
Miss
You
you
guys
guys.
love Surge, right?
Yes. Yes. We'll talk, but we
We'll
miss
talk
you.
about that.
I know. Well, I'll speak for Jen. We miss you guys.
We do very
And
much.
you guys have done a fantastic job, and we look forward to watching and listening to you guys.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
We'll see you guys soon. Good night.
Go
Have a
Knicks.
great night.
All right. Before we go, we do have one more guest that we do want to bring in.
Yes.
And we are very thankful that he was so patient. We have the man behind the coffee. We are joined by Patrick from Lion Coffee. Hi, Patrick. How are you?
Hello. Okay, I can't look too much at the camera. Unfortunately, I'm driving home. So
That's okay.
Thank
That's
you.
okay.
Thank you so much for waiting. We're so sorry. I know you were in and out, and thank you so much for waiting. We wanted to make sure we brought you on, and thank you for how generous you have been with supplying our guests with coffee. We truly appreciate it.
you guys, I enjoy listening to. I know nothing about the high school football, but it's very nice to hear how passionate you are about the games. And I mean, hopefully I try to echo that with my coffee stuff I send. So
Well, we've gotten a lot of positive feedback about the coaches are appreciative and loving it. So thank you. And I'm throwing up the discount that you have also graciously offered all of our listeners, lioncoffee.com, 10% off for our listeners. Patrick10 is your promo code.
it is. Is there, did I miss addresses the last couple weeks?
I think I have one set. Shh, I'll message you. Don't say it in front of her. She's gonna yell at me, Patrick. I'll message you. She's gonna yell at me. So I'll deal with you separately. We'll be on the.
I must have missed it.
Yeah,
I must have missed it.
I know.
You're
You must.
so
Thanks,
kind.
Patrick.
You're
Thank
so
you, Patrick. Thank you. Thank you. It's the Hawaiian time. But I just want to say this, Patrick, and I'm gonna echo this, and you do this on all our shows, but just how generous you are giving it to the coaches, and like Jen said, like everybody's like, and even like my coworkers, I work with Deanna, we gave it to Dave Chalabi, my bosses, I gave some to Angela and Justin, and just everybody is just like, it's unbelievable coffee, but just how generous you are, and for these coaches to come on and stuff like that, they just appreciate it. And it's just the gesture that you do, it's unbelievable for everybody.
Well, it's good. As high school coaches, they probably don't get a lot. I mean, it's not like, you can send them things on the side, right? I mean, that kind of looks bad. So, I have no skin in this fight, right? So I can send whatever I need to. It's good.
And listen, the amount of hours they work, they need some of that coffee. That's all I'm going to say. I did it.
I'm
you
trying.
work a lot of hours as a coach, a lot.
Right. Well, we have tea. I can send you some tea. I even have tea with no caffeine if you need. We don't need you to get too revved up.
I get revved up for anything, but I'll try that. I could definitely try with that.
We even had some new parents, right, with infants at home who said, "Oh, I need all the caffeine I can." So in addition to the coaching, for other reasons. So, and we appreciate you taking the time to come on with us tonight. You're mid-drive. There's a time difference, so we really appreciate it.
It's easy. No problem. You guys are more than welcoming with everything. You talk about what I enjoy to hear, and it works out. So we're good.
And Patrick, before you go, 30 seconds. Bo Nix, baby, what a game! Let's go. Listen. My emotions were up. I mean, down, up, down, up. But you know what? We got it done. Go ahead.
I will admit, I started doing laundry about the middle of the third quarter, and looked up and was like, okay, they got one, and maybe I'll watch. And then then I started getting into it. I will admit, I did look away for a little while. So. Well, it was wonderful to see, though.
Rightfully so. Couldn't blame you in the third quarter for doing that. But full disclosure, which Kurt isn't going to mention, he called for every member of the coaching staff to be fired.
No, I
and
didn't.
every player to be benched or traded.
No,
at some
no,
point.
no.
You were losing faith in Sean Payton.
A little bit, yeah, a little bit, yeah.
I was hearkening back, hopefully, to because I am a few years older than you guys, so I was hearkening back to a time when it was legal, when the player walked off the field for the coach to, NCIS slap him or something, the back of the head slap, or, what are you doing? I'm like, they just one smack, a little bit of maintenance, they'll be fine. And I was grumpy, so.
We got it done though, baby. Doesn't matter how, just get it done. That's all that matters.
That's right. And I did feel bad. I had to, give a little bit of grief to Kenny. I did feel a little bad. Not for long.
I didn't feel bad at all. So don't worry. Don't ask me that.
Oh, Patrick, we will let you go. You're driving. We've taken up your time. And again, thank you so much for not only joining us, but for continuing to be so generous in supplying our guests with coffee.
Easy. Anytime. All you have to do is ask or order. We'll be good.
All right. Sounds
Thank
good.
you, Patrick.
Thank you so much. Have a
Thank
good
you
night.
very
Thanks.
much.
Have a good night.
Good night.
Patrick Lion Coffee, and just one of the most generous people, and
100%.
all the coaches love
Genuine,
it.
Just so genuine.
And whoever, what
Yep.
coaches didn't get it, I will get them
Yeah,
that information.
just I always pass along the info. Yeah, I don't know what happens. Don't know what happens to the middleman on that one. So
Yeah.
if you're still waiting for your coffee, I apologize, but coming soon, promise. And it comes pretty quickly once Patrick sends it out. So
Yep.
Huge slate tonight. We were on for I think the longest show we've ever done.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's all worth it.
Championship
because-
weekend, baby.
because we are giving credit to
Yep.
of course the championship game, but all of our guests tonight and all of the teams that are playing. We tried to highlight everybody. Thank you to Pompton Lakes for joining us, Elmwood Park for joining us, Rutherford and Butler for joining us, Hasbrook Heights, Brandon from Sea Caucus, and Covey from New Milford, and of course Miles, our top dog of the week. Thank you for watching.
One more comment.
Thank you for commenting.
One more comment. Kenny has a bunch of comments about the Giants. I'm not going to get into them. Joe Merge, another great show as usual. Jen and Kurt Valenti, keep up the great work. P.S. The Butler versus Rutherford game will be the game of the year. Butler wins.
Oh, I love it. Another
27.
an audience prediction.
I just can't
love
wait.
it.
David Smith, Miles Balkin, Coach Dunn, Coach Luciani. I can't wait, man. That's gonna be a great game. Good luck to both of those teams.
Yep, and
Everybody
everybody
else throughout
playing.
the whole
Yep.
slate too. But that one's gonna be watching. And I'm ending it like this. Give me your final thought right now.
You can go ahead. I don't need to do that.
Let's go Knicks.